The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan.
Your memes end here.
Shall we play a game?
Player to another.
Dark soul light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new clan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that does occasionally review a video game. I'm your host, Caleb Schweiss.
I'm Joe.
I'm A4.
I'm Zach.
What the fuck is that?
I was reading my notes on this episode. I apologize.
Then you forgot to be in the episode?
Yeah, that's exactly
Wait,
what
what's the
happened.
point of
you were
the
getting
notes?
ready so hard.
I take notes on all the games I play.
It's just one bullet
So I
point.
can
It says
remember
dummy
things.
Thick riding.
Yeah, those high heels really did something for me, honestly.
Yeah, man. They really worked. They got his hips going pretty good, man.
Yeah, they
I will
definitely
say,
eased
in this
into
game,
Bayonetta.
Raiden, very fuckable.
Metal Gear Solid 2, not fuckable at all.
I will no. The funny thing is, because it's up there, I only have one anime figurine of an anime girl. It is Raiden from this game.
Wow.
That makes sense. What I heard was that the reason they turned Raiden into like a cyborg is because people were complaining that he was too much of a pretty boy or some shit like in the other Metal Gear.
Well, yeah,
Game.
he came back
And
as a
so-
cyborg ninja in Metal Gear Solid 4.
So they were like, guess what, fuckers?
So they turned him into a woman
They
from
turned
the
him
waist
into a
down.
cyborg. Yeah, with a popping ass. They were like...
Yeah, all we gotta...
Dude,
get the-
I
when
bet
you
his
get the
vagina
cybernetic
like
surgery.
buzzes like in his robotic vagina. It's like it 100%.
Yeah,
Like
it
the
like...
controller rumble is when you do the Sendatsu.
Yeah, I bet if we can get Raiden the tits of Joe, he'd be amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, it'd be like, damn, I'm kind of gay for this guy.
I like how you're gay for me, like 1/4 of me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, your tits are...
It's the only,
One
Joe,
quarter
it's
of
the
my
only-
body mass.
it's the only quarter that counts.
There's
Yeah.
only one pair of like robotic tits in this entire game, and she doesn't even. They're not even like weapons for her.
Yeah, that's a lame miss.
Yeah.
They should have done that.
Are you talking
I
about
mean,
the
to be
senator?
fair, no.
The senator. The senator. The
Okay, I stand corrected. There are two pairs of robotic tits in this game. No, I was gonna say at least for Mistral, at least when she puts all those arms on her, she's like coming the whole time.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. So today we will be reviewing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which was my bucket list game that was voted on by you, the fans, on the Twitter poll.
Are you
but
glad that this
before-
is your bucket game, by the way?
I think I had this before I was a co-host. I think I had this on my forced entry as one of the.
Oh, nice.
You did, but the thing that gets me is what we said was games you haven't beaten yet that you would like to beat,
A
and you
bucket
put a list of
list.
every fucking game you've already beaten,
I
and
don't
you were like,
remember I don't remember the.
He
the
doesn't
part
know
at
what
the
a bucket
beginning.
list is. A4, if you want to take it back, first you have to watch the movie The Bucket List. And then we can explain the concept to you that a bucket list is the list of things you want to do before you kick the bucket, which means,
Well,
by the
you
way,
know what the thing.
to
You know,
die.
you know what's a thing that's on my bucket list is to review Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance on Nude Clan.
Review it.
So-
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But before we get into the review, what has everybody been playing this week? Or I guess past 2 weeks because we didn't really do it.
yeah, we didn't talk about it last week or what games we beat.
For me, Kingdom Hearts and a teensy weensy bit of Super Metroid.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
I
Kingdom
could feel your
Hearts-
frustration that Nintendo does not offer virtual console games on the Switch.
Yeah, that was so I had to sign up for their monthly thing and then get an app that has all the SNES or a bunch of SNES titles on it, and then have to look through that horrible menu of just game cartridge covers to be able to find Metroid.
I think it looks nice. The problem is just like
there's no title above it. Like there's no like. So I have to look at the art, and I'm like,
oh no, you can
everything
like,
here has
the
same art style. I know, I did. I sorted them alphabetically, but that's not what it was initially. So initially, it was just like a mess of games, and I scrolled through it. I'm like, I can't find it. Did I just waste $4?
What the fuck is Rival Turf?
Yeah, like I can see what these guys are competing with Square Enix as far as like slabbing money at you. Just fucking, you want to buy this Final Fantasy VII upgrade? That was the soundtrack. No, really, do you want to buy it? You're like, that was the
art book. I've never got through them either. I haven't got through. I wasted so much money on that shit. God damn it.
I refuse to look at it.
Yeah.
But I opened it, so I can't return it. I opened the digital fucking line of code.
It was kind of a convoluted system. I thought because it wasn't on a modern, I didn't think it was on the Switch at all because I just searched for it in the store and I'm like,
there's no fucking Metroid games on the Switch. Like
my policy is if it's not on a modern console, I can emulate it. Like they don't want my money. They would have had my money and they don't want it.
But true.
Actually, for some convoluted way, I can play it on the Switch.
It's not that convoluted. It's just like
it's convoluted enough. It makes no sense. What the fuck? They're throwing money away. It's like, okay, you can be part of our monthly thing and then get this like convoluted app and have this thing. Sure. Yeah. Or
they basically traded in like the buying games a la carte via the virtual console from the Wii and the Wii U.
They could make money both ways.
I agree. I think it's stupid of them, but like they basically traded that in to do like a Netflix thing where it's like, well, you pay us a fucking yearly rate and then you get these apps that we occasionally add new games onto. You can play online and with rewind. And
I mean, I bet Joe probably would have paid the same amount he's gonna pay to just buy the one game, though.
Yeah, it would have been $5. I would have bought one game.
Yeah, and then he only plays that one, and if he wants more,
he buys another one,
or he gets the sub. Like it's stupid. Well, why would you not have that?
Yeah.
The thing that was bullshit was the yearly Nintendo Online thing is $20 a year, and then you get SNES and NES games, but when they introduced the N64 games, they made it so you had to pay $50 a year, which is like way too big a leap for.
Or you just pay the monthly thing, but yeah.
I already had Nintendo Online because like the reason I bought Nintendo Online initially because I held off at first because I was like, I'm not paying $20 a year for Nintendo Online; it should be free. And then they introduced a fucking Tetris Battle Royale game, Tetris 99, and I was like, they got me. Fuck. Like.
Because you can't play Tetris on any other device.
Not a Tetris Battle Royale where like you're battling against 99 other people playing Tetris.
They should release an e-fridge Battle Royale Tetris. So like whenever you go get a drink of water, you're like, anybody online? Anybody want to do battle Tetris fridge Tetris?
Tetris 99, very fun. Pac-Man 99, very fun. Mario 35 when it was available, very fun.
I'm sure they're fun. It's just I want it on the fridge. So
you gotta have the speaker, so it's like as you're like playing on it, it's perfect.
Yeah.
3 a.m, getting a glass of water, and you're like,
It's one of
but yeah, no, that price jump from like 20 to 50 for just N64 and Sega Genesis games was not worth it in a lot of people's eyes. I only ended up getting the $50 N64 tier because I finally was able to get one of those N64 controllers for the Switch. So I'm like, well, now I have something to play it with, so fuck it, I'll subscribe to the $50 tier and get all those N64 games. Why not?
Is a plane landing in someone's house right now? What the fuck?
That's what it sounded like.
There's a plane it's outside, yeah.
It's like it was getting closer and closer, like, you better duck, dude.
How bad would it be if like he had like a plane crash in his house like Donnie Darko, like live on stream?
And we would have so many views.
Nuts, bro. Yeah, we'd be a news story.
Yeah.
This highly offensive podcast.
This vaguely racist.
He deserved to die!
Yeah.
That's what was in the comments.
He was high
on
pills at the time.
Rachel Maddow's just like, good, another racist is dead and in hell. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fun. What about wait? So were you saying what you've been playing? Or
I said what I've been playing.
Did anyone else, or did A4 just go off about?
I kind of just went off about.
We
the
had a
Nintendo
conversation about it, and now it's someone else's turn to say what they've been
You're
playing.
like a woman.
Oh, I
A4
see. I
gives his
understand.
Opinion when it's not wanted.
I was just like, wait, how do we get to bitching about Nintendo and planes going through the buildings?
That's your favorite thing is bitching about Nintendo.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
You should have enjoyed it.
I held off a little. I mean, I complained that they didn't want more money. But at least this is something that's worth the more money, unlike everything else that everyone suggests as a fix for one of their problems.
Speaking,
why don't you just buy blah blah blah?
Speaking of money for Nintendo, they're releasing. So they had like the N64 controller. They're releasing a GameCube controller, Pro controller.
That's
What,
better.
for Switch?
Yeah,
I thought they already had those for Smash.
I mean, it's
I don't know, but then I just saw a thing. I got tagged in something for it.
It's definitely better
recently.
than the 64 controller. So
I want the 64 controller though. Honestly,
It's not super hard to get when it's back in stock now. If you follow,
Is
like,
that
Cheap Ass Gamer,
Nintend's
you can-
best controller?
The N64? What are you
Or the-
fucking?
No,
talking
I've
about?
heard the
GameCube.
game. I've heard the GameCube is. I've
no.
heard people say that that's definitely like their
I think
favorite
out of,
controller.
I mean, I like the Super NES controller. I
Yeah.
like the way that feels.
I love the
but,
Super NES controller. I like the GameCube controller. It's very weird.
but it's different, you know. For like a modern console, though, like they've given us the Wii, and then those like flimsy shit box things on the. But this is the GameCube right here. This is the.
Have you ever held?
Yeah.
a
I don't
Wii U
love.
gamepad,
I
by
don't
the way?
love the right.
Hey, hold
the
it.
little nipple stick on the right
Yeah, hold
hand
it back
side.
up and,
I
like,
don't love that.
Hold it up to the camera and just twirl it a little slower.
Yeah.
A little slower.
I don't like how it shoots me in the eye with milk every once in a while.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm in the middle of a
You
combo.
gotta reach up with your pointer
Oh,
finger
Joe.
and find the clit on the Z button.
Yeah, I don't like the GameCube, and here's why. Look, I can pick up an Xbox, and I can kind of get by with. It says press Y, but when it tells me to press a GameCube button, I don't know where that is. Like, I don't know where it is at all. I'm just
I
fucking.
will give
Z,
I'll be back in
X.
just
credit that like its
second.
button layout is very unique and kind of intuitive because like,
Press
they're all
Z,
different
and like,
shapes,
what?
but-
Where's the Z?
When I played the GameCube briefly, I had one for like a year, and I was actively using it for like a year. I mean, the control was fine for me. I mean, the yellow nipple was a little weird, but
And then there's only one L1 or like L button. There's like two on
Yeah,
one
Z.
side, one on the other, and I'm like,
There's like the
Yeah,
games that were built for the GameCube controller are like they use it really well. Like how
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine, you can like the triggers, you can like push them in slightly or like click them in all the way. Like,
yeah.
that's neat. But
I still
Um,
think the Super NES is the best controller they've ever made. That's the
well, also
second
because
one.
it's like it's just the fucking like default layout for every controller
Yeah,
going
it's
forward.
it's made for humans, is why. It's not made for freaks. Like it's not made for
I'm sorry.
three-handed.
It's the default controller layout for every
monstros.
controller going forward, except for the ones that Nintendo made.
Yeah, except for
You know,
theirs. That's what they do. They revolutionize, and then they're like, "Yeah, fuck it." Like motion controls, we're gonna do the Wii, and then after they're like, "Eh." The Switch does it a little, and then they're like, "Nah,
There's a
fuck it."
tablet.
Handheld.
I like how everyone just forgets that the Wii U existed.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys
Honestly,
just
guys-
glossed right the fuck over it.
I have all my controllers right next to me. I still think the original Xbox is the one that fits my hand the best.
Yeah, big hands.
I guess, but it's like how deep in where the thumbsticks are. Like for the PS2 and stuff, it's like too up or like too wide on the PS4. Like for me, the
Yeah, was that
original
the,
Xbox is better.
Is that the Xbox controller S or is that the Duke? The Duke is like the huge one.
It's
it's
not that one. Oh, is it that one?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Where's the red and white button? Is that like way the fuck down there?
The
How-
Duke also probably has like a giant circle with an Xbox logo right in the middle that does nothing.
How hard is it for you to change grenades in Halo? Is the question.
It was pretty intuitive when I was doing it, but like you didn't have to. Usually, you just ran out of one grenade and went to the other, and you didn't care about it unless you were like, "Oh, I want to
think
be
that's-
sticky right now."
Oh, I have one of those.
I think my
Because-
PS5 is my best one. I don't know. I like it.
For the
but-
controller.
Yeah.
I do. I am
think
used
the
to the
PS5 's
PS5 right
great.
now. It's really good.
I'm digging that one a lot.
It is a little more meaty than the PS4 one, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what controller I really like is a Switch Pro
Oh
controller.
my god.
I do. The Switch Pro controller is good.
Doesn't count.
It's
do
great
like
controller.
Third party.
I do like,
not
it's
Nintendo.
first party. Yeah,
It doesn't come with the console.
It's first party, third party. You got to buy it extra.
I do like the PS4 controller a lot. That was probably my favorite controller for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I always like the Sony stuff though. So, except
I mean,
for
the
maybe
controllers really haven't changed that much. Like, they get updated every new console.
I like
but
the DualShock.
they're always great.
I like the original DualShocks 1, 2, 3, but once the Xbox 360 controller came out, that is just so ergonomically fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the PS4 controller that I was like, all right, this thing fucking fits.
I've never been a DualShock 2 guy. I think the sticks are too large. They're too
How many times have you heard that?
You don't like the dog nose.
I don't like it.
texture
The
on
sticks are too large.
I don't love it. But I mean, it's fine. I mean, when you're playing a game, you just get used to whatever the scheme is.
The DualShock 2 has pressure sensitive buttons. Come on.
Okay. The original Xbox controller still fits better in my hand. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only one, though.
Fucking massive one, the one that looks like fucking.
I have the massive one. It's fine.
That's what I have too. But Shrek, that's made for Shrek, bro.
Yeah, it's made for
Literally,
Shaquille
because Shrek
O'Neal.
was an Xbox launch title.
Yeah.
It's made for Shaq. I love my Xbox.
Zach, what have you been playing?
Oh,
I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I played some
goddamn time.
I played some Pokemon Scarlet.
Oh, that's a weird. That's not how I pronounce Bad Boys Takedown. Miami Takedown.
Yeah, it's weird. I
pronunciation.
really enjoyed the game actually, which is crazy when you said you didn't like it. So it's weird.
Yeah. That's strange.
And then some Monster Hunter Stories too. The Switch games are because I can play them on my lunch. I can pop them out and just.
And you pick Monster Hunter Stories 2 of all.
It's great. It's fun.
Yeah, it's like a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, but it looks great. The animation's rad. The cartoons are rad. It's a game made for witches he was good at, but he's not. There's just these fun games.
It just sounds like you're playing lesser Pokemon, honestly.
It is very much like Pokemon, but it's great because you can when you find a monster den, you can go on and give the eggs, and then you get that monster for your party if you get the right egg.
The difference between that game and Pokemon is that in Monster Hunter, when you see a monster, you can't tell what it is because it's just a bunch of fucking triangles mashed together. It doesn't have a recognizable design.
That's not true at all.
That's very true.
That's not true at all.
My biggest problem with Monster Hunter, besides everything about it, has always been the monster designs are unrecognizable.
They're great. You know monsters from Monster Hunter if you see them. I can. And if you play the series, it's a good series.
Yeah, come on.
It's a great series.
Monsters.
I had fun playing it that one time with Cameron and those guys.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World is a fantastic game.
Yeah, did you get abandoned as well, A4? They're like, oh, we should play this on Tuesday nights. And then next Tuesday rolls around, and they've been on for 5 hours by the time you play. And it's like, oh, yeah, let's. Fuckers.
No, I just abandoned them.
Sounds a little hurt there.
Oh, we can catch you up. Oh, yeah, you can catch me up, huh? Well, fuck you. I'm not playing it. I'm not going to be caught up.
They started
First, you have
Tiny
to go to this
Tina's Wonderland,
menu
and I was
to get ready to go on the mission.
Rising Hunter.
Then you go on the mission. Then you have to figure out the fucking slug-ass controls in this fucking dog shit game.
A4 is just not good at it, and it's fine.
I was okay not playing it, though,
It's
honestly.
fine. It's a great game. Monster Hunter World is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. Let me mea culpa here. Monster Hunter is a series I really, really wish I could get into because it looks awesome. But every time I try playing it, I'm like, this just is not for me. I don't know what it is.
And that's fine. It's not, you know what I mean? That's fair. Not every game's for everyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Monster Hunter's not for anybody except for...
Yeah, Monster Hunter is fantastic. I mean,
inflamed frontal lobe.
And it's definitely harder to get into when the only games you actively play are puzzle games and you're clicking and moving the titty to the right part of the body.
Yeah, that's for decompressed frontal lobe.
I'm sorry. The only games I play are puzzle games. How much trouble did you have with Monsoon? Because I beat him first try. I don't know what your fucking problem is.
Yeah, Joe's face says it all. Monsoon is a cunt. And if you don't figure out his shit,
he's a fucking...
His auto
have to look up.
Maybe if you played more than Pokemon, you'd know.
Oh, hey, A4, who's beat Metal Gear Rising before and did it and remembered how to beat the boss first try.
Once Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
I remember that did I did it on the first try. Don't you know you throw a grenade at him and you let him like for a second and you gotta slice
I
him?
don't have grenades or EMPs, dude. It's bullshit. He got his auto dodge and running around the map. I'm like, please God, stop hitting me.
The last time I played this game to completion, I want to say it was like 2014. So
I didn't use grenades
right
at all. I just fought him.
So when I beat him,
remember things from 2014.
Do that.
Shit, I don't remember him from.
You get rusty when not playing a game for almost a decade, Joe. Come on. How much trouble you having with Kingdom Hearts exactly?
Probably way less than me because I'm doing it with the original Keyblade, and it's fucking nuts, man.
Why?
Because there's a trophy there.
I feel like Kingdom Hearts is bad because it's not a good game.
You're going to have a hard time with those trophies if you're trying to get the platinum for Kingdom Hearts. You're going to have to do a bunch of gummy ship stuff that you do not want to do.
I hate the gummy ships.
Look, I'm just going to do it for now, and then I'm going to leave it, and then maybe one day I'll come back and finish it. I'm not going to do it all
suffering
now.
with the original Kingdom Key right now because of trophies you're probably going to give up on.
He doesn't have to actively beat it again.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it.
I don't blame him.
Sorry, my PS5 turned off and Gladiator turned on.
Oh. Are you not entertained?
My TV just comes with like Samsung TV, and it's just like a million channels on there, and I'm like, still nothing to watch except for Gladiator, I guess.
Gladiator's pretty sweet.
Is it the thing where like, when the console turns off, it just auto goes back to like whatever's playing?
Yeah, I really, really hate it. I also hate that my PS5, when I turn my TV off, it's like, oh, we can turn off too, right? And I was like, no, not really. I just wanted to turn the TV off, not you, you fucking idiot. I don't know why you guys are in sync.
My wife's TV, the one that's in the living room, like has this weird setting where like when I turn the fucking PS3 off, the PS4 off, it like also turns the TV off.
Yeah, it only does it for the 5 though. My PS4, it didn't give a shit. I don't know. I don't like it.
You gotta give it, to fix it, you gotta give it one of those dirty pops, you know?
Yeah. No strings attached?
I don't know whether to be offended or not because they're saying in the chat I look like a young Lord Baelish.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sure, I'll take that.
What a faggot!
Whoa, and we were taken off of Twitch.
Oh, now they look like this channel is offline.
Oh
boy.
Beautiful. I don't care. Take us off.
So you're playing games for babies, Zach.
Sure. Yeah, I am.
That's where he's at.
But you know what? I'm having fun.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Speaking of playing games for babies, I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts myself.
Yeah. That game's for men. Excuse the fuck out of me, Schweiz.
It is
made for podcast hosts.
Yeah.
Specifically.
It is fun.
You beat fucking Sephiroth with that Kingdom Key, and you tell me that game's for babies.
Man, I don't know if I could beat the bosses with the Kingdom Key anymore. Like, it was okay. Like, Maleficent Phase 1 was a long fight, but it wasn't hard.
Or she's on, like, the fucking rock that's floating.
Yeah, that one's not hard.
It was stupid, because I'm like, okay, sometimes I get on the rock when it's still floaty, and then I just kind of roam the earth with her.
Yeah.
And then she rages.
That happened to me the first
show
time.
you the world.
That happened to me the first time, and it was like, I guess this is how it goes. And then I couldn't get back on the rock on the second try, and I was like, what the fuck? I guess I just glitched on top of a rock. Because all she does, if you're on top of the rock, until she starts doing the, like, hellish beam thing, she just stands there. So you're just wailing on her all day.
Oh, yeah.
It was nice.
And then when you get into the latter part, she just does a little, she grabs the rock and spins it so it launches you off. And I'm like, fuck you. I want to go up there with you. I hate these meteors. Yeah, come on, dude.
I mean, if it was Angelina Jolie Maleficent, then yeah, I would like to spend some time on that rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, wailing on her? Is that what you're
wailing on her with my keyblade? Trying to open up her...
oh, you're trying to get into the keyhole.
Keyhole, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it's under Maleficent's dress.
It's a keyblade. It's a keyblade that looks like a penis, and then the keychain is just two little balls dangling.
Yeah. Dude, I've been having a lot of fun with the innuendo in this game, I'll tell you that. Like, it's the dark keyhole, and I'm like, ooh, gross. There's stuff coming out of it. You probably have to go see a doctor. Shouldn't be darkness coming out of your keyhole. And then, like, the last cutscene I got, it made it seem like the the fucking Riku guy is gonna have to like hit the keyhole from the other side, and I'm like, we got some DP keyhole that's gonna have to happen in this fucking game. I'm gonna hit her from this end. You got to get her from that end. We'll open up this keyhole. We'll unlock it.
High
with our
five, dude.
Keyblade.
Fist bump.
Yeah, just don't look at me in the eye when we do it.
Mild spoilers for the end of the game, but they do kind of have to hit something from both sides.
Oh, I believe it. Is it the keyhole? The dark keyhole and the light keyhole?
No, it's something else. You'll see.
All right. I mean, I hope I'll see.
It's a really, really convoluted fucking plot that goes on for 18 fucking sequels.
Look, it's
I don't even
right
know what
now.
you're talking about right now, A4.
They literally have to like close the door to Kingdom Hearts from like both sides.
Oh yeah, with the girl. Is that what you're talking about?
No, Kyrie doesn't get stuck. Riku and King Mickey get stuck.
It's okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
Spoilers.
I know they're stuck at the end.
I'm a bona fide Kingdom Hearts lore enthusiast. Okay.
Maybe I looked at my phone. I honestly have been having like we need to review Kingdom Hearts right now because I have forgotten the plot.
Don't worry, because it's only going to get worse the more games you get in.
Yeah, we know that. And this one, honestly, I'm like, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I know that everyone starts to hate him after this, but
because this is like as
what they
simple as
did.
the story ever gets. It's like there's worlds and they get taken out of commission.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is better.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is a better game. It also has a infinitely more convoluted plot. When
it's more convoluted, but when I played it in high school, now it's been long enough that I could be totally wrong about this, right? When I played it, I was into it.
Yeah, I mean,
so I was like,
I was also into it. I'm just saying it's fucking hard to remember what the hell happens between. It's like, all right, how many versions of this one guy are there by the end of the fucking series?
Ansem.
Yeah, well, Xehanort, but yeah,
he's so handsome.
Yeah,
such an handsome man.
So I've been playing that. I also played my last bit of Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer comrades. I'm done.
Oh my god, you've got all the trophies.
I'm legitimately surprised the servers are still up for that.
That's why I was like, hey, I need to do this.
Oh, are they taking them down?
No, I don't know, but I can't imagine that it lasts that much longer. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised they're still up.
I mean, they shut down Babylon's Fall for less, so.
Yeah. Maybe not. I mean, maybe there are, because I'll occasionally run into somebody when I was playing it. But, yeah, now the shit I'm going to have to do to unlock the OG comrades, because they released it with the Royal Edition of 15, and what I have to do...
And then there's a standalone version.
Yeah, and I did the standalone version. But if I want to do the OG one, I have to download... It's like a proxy server to my computer and run 15 through that server with no updates, and I can fucking play it. It's like crazy. It's like a big process.
Also,
like,
you can
fuck
have
figured this
15
shit out?
on your fucking trophy list, not be
Why
like
don't you just get
an
addicted to
incomplete
heroin
bar with a
instead?
platinum trophy at the end.
Yeah. So now
That shit drives me nuts. Once they add DLC, it's just like, well, I had a number 100 on there, and now it's like a 66 because Doom came out with 5 fucking free updates that all have their own trophy lists.
Yeah. So I want to take care of
something like that.
So all that I have left in 15, it's like 1 for getting the highest possible rating in Arden's DLC, which is kind of a lot because you have to not fuck up, and it's like a time thing. So you have to really haul ass. So I just like I didn't want to do it when I was doing the rest of them when we did 15 Revisited. And then I think I have to like fill a map log or a data log or something for one of the updates, and then it's all comrades. So eventually
I have
when
the 15
I do it,
platinum. I did virtually everything except for beating Omega because fuck that shit.
Oh, that wasn't that bad. It was about 2 hours to kill him, but
I had that fucking special salmon you get from the Bismarck quest, and I couldn't do it.
it took me 2 hours almost to fight him in one fight. I didn't die. It just was 2 hours.
I didn't die either. It's just like by the time the damage thing wore off from the food, I was like, well, I have to give up because this is not happening.
Yeah,
because the food buffs like happen in real time, so it's like I have a half an hour to kill this thing.
Yeah, it's a long thing.
Yeah.
Are you level 99?
I was like level 100 something. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think they like raised the level cap past 99 in the version I was playing.
Oh well, I don't know.
I forget
why
what the
you
level
couldn't
cap
beat
is
it,
now. I don't know, dude. I was literally decked out with like everything. It's because like fucking Omega has like insane damage resistance to like literally everything.
Yeah, it does. You just have to break its like limbs, and then it like shoots out its like.
It's also been
thing.
It's been like 5 years at this point. I straight up don't remember how you're supposed to do it. But
All right.
I have the platinum trophy.
And you remembered how to beat Monsoon, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. You just keep attacking.
It's because he's actually beat Monsoon.
That's
Not
That's
true.
fucking bullshit.
That's a
for it.
fucking lie.
That's all I remember.
Get good at parrying.
Yeah. So
Yeah, dude. Fuck you.
that's
All right.
those are the two
I don't know what
things.
you want me to tell you.
Oh, and some 14. I almost have the 1,000 LevaQuest trophy in 14. I got like today I could get it.
And you need 5,000?
No, just 1,000.
Oh.
That one doesn't
That's-
scale for the PS5 one.
Oh, okay. That's the one.
The fates do. You need 3,000 fates, and I think I have 350.
Awful.
Yeah.
Those are long, dude.
Yeah, I know, man. I have to get
3,000.
And the worst one is the 3,000 dungeons, instances, or raids. And what I'm wondering though is, can I go unsynced into like Bahamut Coil 5, and that shit counts? Because if it does, I can
No, just go unsynced and solo like the easiest boss over and over and over again.
Yeah, if I can,
Fuck that shit.
that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing 3,000 dungeons. I'm not living in 14. I've already lived in there enough, and I don't like it. So, and the longer I'm in there, the less I like the goddamn thing. So I've cheesed it now, though. I've gotten past my, I want to do all the crafting, because now the crafting is getting really cunty, and I have to like really gather a bunch of crazy shit for it, and I'm running out of money. So
What happened to enjoying the grind?
That's too much.
It's ironic, A4. The grind is the worst part of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just want to explain the joke.
Yeah.
Enjoy the grind. No one enjoys the grind. It sucks.
I don't know. There's certain games that you can kind of like just put on a podcast and just tune out and grind.
I
shit
can't
out.
think of one.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Going
but-
around killing wolves for licensing points in 12 was the most I've ever had fun grinding.
Yeah,
Because
but
it was just like one hit, and then you move on to the next wolf, and you're like, dang, hey, there's another one. And then you move on to
Phil
the next.
Hottie actually said it. Finding the easiest way is in itself the grind.
yeah, and I mean, you get the special drops when you get a bunch of them, and you get that loot
you
system
can see
in 12.
the chain,
Yeah, the mega
You never break
chain,
the chain. Yep.
and you got to worry about someone else coming into your zone and accidentally killing a not wolf to fuck it all up. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that
That's
is
the most
true.
fun I've ever had grinding. And I had like Nirvana on in the background. It was great.
Yeah, there were good days in 12. Like, it's a lot of grinding in 12, but yeah,
Almost
just
like
have
it's the
some-
best Final Fantasy game.
Have some music on. You got fucking grind going. I mean, I do like that part of the grind. But right now, when I'm like grinding games that I'm streaming, I don't like that because I'm not listening to a podcast while I'm streaming and grinding out levels. So it depends on the game.
Just don't grind on stream. Make the grind like your off-stream time.
Private grind.
I would assume that's what you would want to do.
If there's
but what
no
the fuck do
audience,
I know?
why do it? Do it.
I mean,
For the number to go up on your trophy list.
yeah, that's true. No one watches the streams, so fuckers.
Jesus.
But yeah,
What have you been playing it for?
I've been playing. Well, I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance this week. I've also gone back, weirdly enough, to Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
I'm in Kilika now, so I'm like a little ways in, a couple hours. Just kind of felt like playing that again. And I got the 1010 2 remaster on Steam on sale during the winter sale because I could play it on my Steam Deck too. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll play this again. Why not? I mean, maybe this time I'll beat the Dark Aeons. I probably won't, but
you can.
maybe
if
I
you,
will.
if you know how.
Yeah. Maybe this time I'll get all the Albad primers and not miss one. and
Oh,
restart the
why
game.
don't you do it on the first try though?
I'm going to try. I'm going to look up a guide because I'm
Yeah.
definitely not playing 11 more hours.
Oh, you had to
of that
look
after
up
I
a
finish it.
guide when you couldn't do it on the first try? That's weird. Who
Yeah.
would do that?
You gotta see the thing that's offensive about the guide I found, I think, is it specifically said, make sure you grab these two because they will not come back. But it gave them to me in like the wrong order. So like I grabbed the one and then I entered the cutscene of no return and then I realized, oh fuck, the other one's in there too. Guess I'll just go back. And it's never
That's
as
another
easy as
weird
you think it
thing.
is.
Speaking of cutscenes, another weird thing with that Steam version is like occasionally the cutscenes will just be a green screen with nothing happening, or like the one time, like the one cutscene where like Sin attacks Kilika and like the whole village gets destroyed. It was green, but like I could make out the buildings getting destroyed on the green screen. Apparently, it's like a memory thing. I downloaded some like thing that patched it so it had like a 4 gigabyte memory limit instead of 2 gigabytes, and that should fix it.
Weird.
But that was just because like I'm just playing through fucking on Discord in my one buddy's channel, and just you get to a it's only the pre-rendered cutscenes I should mention, not like the in-engine stuff.
Okay.
And then like I get to a pre-rendered cutscene, it's just a green screen, and I'm like, all right, well, something was supposed to happen there that we didn't see. So Sin's fin's supposed to come out of the fucking ocean, and because you can hear all the audio.
How long has it been since you played it? Because it sounds like you can remember that shit pretty well.
I want to say 2016, 2017. I played the PS4 version of the remaster way back when. I don't remember if I was listening to UFF yet when I did that. But it's, like at least 5 years, I want to say.
I don't know if I would be able to remember every cutscene before I got to it.
I mean, I also played that game.
I've played it a few times, but
I also played that game as a kid, teenager. So like, I remember a lot of the earlier parts. It's the later stuff that I'm fuzzy on.
Okay.
I would like play the game for like 10 hours and then play something else, and eventually I would be like, I got to restart Final Fantasy X because I don't remember what the fuck was going on. So I've seen.
I remember in like perfect clarity for some reason is Titus coming out of a building. Sin is just come out of the ocean. He's just like looking at him, and then Titus goes, "I'm coming for you, Dad." And then,
well, I'm also
perfect clarity. I see the shot. I see Titus, and I hear his fucking voice.
I'm also streaming it on Discord so I could show my buddy all the fucking hilarious voice acting because
so he could laugh.
Yeah, but not just at the laughing scene. At when they're like, you can't go in the cloister of trials. It's a sacred place. You can't. He's like I care, and he just runs it. It's a good time. So
there's the really dramatic moment that's kind of like rushed a little too much, where Titus goes, "I hate you" to his dad. But the lip movement's too fast, so like James Arnold Taylor has to go, "I hate you."
Yeah,
and it's like so not right for the scene.
Just like other scenes that are just weird, where it's like kid Titus, and he's just like, I hope he dies, and then the mom's like, but if he dies, you'll never be able to tell him how much you hate him, and it's like, well, who would say that ever? Like, what the fuck?
It's a healthy relationship here.
It's also just an easy to play Final Fantasy because there's no ATB, so it's just very chill. The sphere grid makes progression pretty fucking like
till you're turned to stone. It's pretty chill.
No, but I mean just like playing. It's comfy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're not timed on anything. You get a visual sense of your progression with the sphere grid, and it's like very linear. So it's not like you're going off and exploring and getting lost somewhere in the world map and running into a billion random encounters. You're just going down a straight line, basically. I think it was the same director who eventually did 13. So, I don't know. I've been playing that. And then another nostalgic one I kind of got into recently was Grand Theft Auto 4, which I never beat as a teenager in like college, but it was like $5 on the Steam sale. So I'm like, I kind of want to play Grand Theft Auto 4 again. So
yeah,
plowing away at that. And I remember a lot more of that game than I thought I did. Because I must have put a lot of hours into it when I was in college and just never finished it.
It's all right. It's one of the weakest.
It's a good game.
The weakest GTA.
It's definitely the thing I noticed with GTA 4. It is the first game where Rockstar seemed way more interested in making like a realistic simulation of a city instead of a video game. And I noticed that when I go in the clothing store for like one of the first missions, you have to like physically walk up to the clothing item you want to try out on the rack and then press the interact button. Or like when I'm just trying to cycle between the two available pairs of sunglasses for Nico, like when I hit the arrow button to go to the next pair of sunglasses, he's got to do this animation where he takes them off, puts them back on the rack, picks up the next pair, puts it on. It's just like, I cannot believe that they were doing this Red Dead Redemption 2 shit this early on. That's insane. Like it takes so long to get anything done in that fucking game because it's so methodically detailed, which is cool, but like I'm over it. But the game itself is still very fun. Like I'm having more fun with it than I thought I did. So
Yeah, that's cool.
And
That's good.
it's still like the story's is still a little goofy. Like, yeah, it's kind of like a serious crime drama and everything, but like it's still kind of got that like it's before like GTA 5 kind of like went, what if we tried to do like something semi-serious like The Sopranos, but we still have like logos everywhere that say like oh, come down to Wiener Hut where we will give you our taste of our meat. Boy, oi, 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 oi. You know what I mean? Like there's like with games like GTA 5 that weird juxtaposition where it's like realistic looking city and then just dick jokes everywhere, like except for in the main story. So I don't know.
Every time you say boy oi 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 oi, all I think of is Fairy Tale. Like honestly.
What? Wait, why? I've never watched.
There's a villain, and like one of the things that's how he laughs, and it's fucking annoying.
We were watching Golden Boy like a week or two ago.
Golden Boy is a fucking fantastic anime.
There's the part where she's like, "Oh, look at that boner, boy, oi, 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 oi."
Everyone should watch Golden Boy because
Golden Boy is one of the greatest things ever.
My favorite like scene from that show is where like the hot ass business chick with the tight red dress kicks him out of the thing, and she goes to spit on him, and he goes nah like that when he's on his knees, and she just like kicks. It's fucking funny. Basically, Joe, this anime, you should watch it. It's not very long. It's like 7 episodes. Is this guy who's like, he's kind of like a super genius. Like he's good at a lot of different things, but it's him, and he's a horny. He wants to get a girlfriend, but it's him getting kicked out of these jobs and like his like path through these things. And it's like it's super funny. It's just funny. The entire thing is hilarious.
The one episode, he literally just goes and starts teaching at a swimming pool because the woman walking in was hot, and it turns out she's like the lead instructor.
And he's like, I swim really well.
He's like, I'm going to race you. I'm going to beat you, and you have to let me stay if I beat you. And then she's like, all right, you're on. And then they're like, you know that was like the Olympic gold medalist for Japan, right? And he's like, oh! It's fucking, dude, that show's so funny.
It's like kind of stupid, like plot-wise, but it's just the way he goes around it's very funny.
Also, hot take: the dub is incredible.
It is. That's what I've seen, and the dub is amazing. It's
Japanese. Funny. The English dub is hysterical.
Like he almost gets in the beginning of the anime. He almost gets like killed by this like car, almost hitting him on his bike, and it's the woman that like he gets a job with later on, and it's just.
Where's this on? What is this on?
Golden Boy. I don't know what it's on actually.
I know it's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. It's like it's from like the 90s, so it's like really, really old.
It's on Crunchyroll. I don't know. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime, but
I can't just lean back and watch it on my couch. I'm not doing it.
Probably can.
I mean, I'm seeing the first episode dubbed is on YouTube, so maybe just check YouTube. But yeah, Golden Boy's fucking incredible.
Have we had the hog ring out its tasty yell while I was in the bathroom?
No, we didn't.
We have not.
No, I didn't even know you were gone. So we know what everyone's been playing. Has anyone beaten you?
Saw him leave. Sorry, I didn't hear the hog. I did. All
right, what'd you beat? What'd you get?
I beat Pokemon Scarlet, and I beat Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Did you get the TV from Schweiss yet?
No, I need to. Joe, shut up.
You sure should do that while I have to go on a work trip.
Wait, when is
Thursday. Coming up.
Wait, why? What are you doing?
Just a work trip. They do it every month, basically. Sometimes they've canceled a couple of them recently, so.
Well, that'll be fun though for
consistent. You. Yeah. My love of winter camping is very little. But you know, I'll do it.
Fuck, did I just remember? The only winter camping that I've done is Scouts. So that's all I have a reference to is Young Men's. But I feel like not doing it with Scouts would be more enjoyable. But I don't know. You know what I mean?
In
like
certain ways, yes. In certain ways, no. Like I have better gear.
Right.
But you could still fuck up and do what I did, which is get my feet wet and not dry them off before getting into my tent, and then realizing I couldn't actually feel the bottom of my feet, and then spent like 2 hours just trying to warm up my feet in my goddamn sleeping bag. And then I, of course, was really awake because of that, and then I didn't sleep. and it was just a terrible experience last time I went winter camping, which was what was it, last January, February, something like that. It was rough.
So one of the things that I found joys in as an adult, so when I got COVID, I was like watching YouTube when I was dying, like 2 years ago, and I started watching videos of people winter camping with like their truck bed, like when they make like the trucks, like their like bed of their trucks, and So it looks fun, but
it's colder than you think.
I imagine so, but I've been watching those videos and I'm like,
it's fine.
It'd be fun. Yeah, just.
If you want extra warmth, put a big tarp over the truck bed and run the exhaust in there.
Yeah, it could be toasty.
Joe, did you beat any games besides hypothermia last year?
I beat Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
that's right, baby.
How did you? I literally said a thing that happens at the end of the game, and you like didn't remember it, but you just beat this game.
That's what. And then I said I'm really not remembering the story of this game very well.
I feel like Kingdom Hearts, and what I remember of it is a fever dream. Much like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is a fever dream.
I've been having this issue recently, and I think it's me checking my phones during cutscenes, and then I'm like missing out on like chunks of the cutscenes.
Yeah,
and I'm like just not caring enough. I think that's what the problem is. Is I like remembering back when we started UFF, and I was able to remember all these things. I think it's because I had a fucking flip phone. And then as I've gotten like more and more spoiled by the smartphone, like better smartphone, and now I have the iPhone, and it's like nice and like it loads everything quickly and everything like that. Now I'm like, my ability to remember the fucking game I've been playing is diminished deeply, and like I might have to start putting my phone away for games and not just movies, because I put my phone away for movies.
I think you're also remembering cutscenes earlier, not just because you had a flip phone, but because you're like sitting there and it's just Tita's going like, "I hate you,
I hate you." Yeah, the goofy lines just didn't stick with me as well. You know, the key didn't go into my hole quite as
quite as efficient, quite as glossily.
The darkness.
I legitimately there was a part of the ending cutscene that I missed, and I looked up and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And like all I did was like look away and like probably answer something from Schweiss, and I just like, "Fuck, I missed something big." So it might have been exactly what you were talking about. I don't know. There you go, A4.
Yeah.
Not doing my job.
Weiss, did you beat a game?
I did not. I have not beaten a game this week or this year. So.
Wow.
What about you? Did you say yours, Gafer?
No, I didn't. And you didn't beat a game this year, which means this year I'm already 2 ahead of you. I beat Bastion. And Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Do we have a tie for King Hog right now?
Yes, we do.
And it's two people who have already been King Hog. A4, it's nice to see you at the top.
Yeah.
I've always been here.
I abdicated, it's okay.
I'm letting you rent the timeshare.
You played like
I've already been here.
Zach. You played like 8 games. I
abdicated.
You owe more games now than you played last year.
I abdicated.
Yeah,
sad piece of shit.
This should be pretty fun, guys, because if we line this up right, A4 and I got to beat Metroid, and then you two got to beat Bad Boys.
Yeah.
And then we can all be lined up for Halo 5.
Ooh.
That's next on our list.
I got to figure out how to get an Xbox for that.
Steal it.
You could steal. You could also buy.
I think my cousin has one I can borrow.
What is stealing but buying with no money?
I mean, I could beat it and then let you borrow the Xbox too.
And I'm pretty sure my cousin still has his. I'm not sure. I hope he does.
Craig,
but I can find out. Okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, I got access.
It's just kind of lame that they didn't release it with the Master Chief Collection or like an update.
Just kick down Craig's door and be like, Mom said it's my turn on the Xbox.
Yeah. And give me some of those caramels. Those who don't know, Craig's mom makes these like homemade caramels, and they're fucking amazing.
Yeah,
all of us know.
I'll be caramels,
except for A4.
A4 doesn't. But I was talking to the listeners, not you. I was talking to listeners.
Oh,
they don't listen.
Yeah, they don't listen.
They just take out their phones while we're doing the podcast. And they miss everything.
Like I used to hear what they'd say, but now I got this got this smartphone, and all I'm looking at is porn.
Twitter
all
is
day.
just—it's so enraging.
I don't look at porn all day.
Enraging or engorging?
Both.
Yeah, both at the same time.
Because I'll see something that makes me mad, and then I'll see titties, and I'm like,
Life's not so bad, right?
Well,
I'm gonna get vaccinated by eating a hamburger one in the next calendar year, probably. But those tits are nice.
What?
What the fuck?
Don't
did
get
you
him
just
started.
say?
Don't get him started.
He got vaccinated by eating a hamburger bun.
Yeah, they're gonna start putting
What?
the vaccine in the food supply.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I guess it's a good time to fast.
Yeah, really. Well,
Or maybe not eat burgers, fat fuck.
Yeah, they can't get to the spam because the spam's already 10 years old.
All the
10
spam they
years on
eat
the-
for the next 100 years has been made. That is correct.
Yeah, I believe the company came out and stated that they are 100 years ahead of production.
They just have a
the plant has been
block and they
closed
just
for 2
carve it.
decades.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
they just take an empty can and they just press it against the giant block. And that's how they
Like
get
a
the
monolith
meat in
of
the can.
spam.
yeah.
Then they twist
Eventually,
it, and then it comes out and it's a full can of spam.
But
They
then
put
the
it on.
monolith like heals itself, like the spam goes to where it was.
or the reference I was gonna make
like
that I don't think
gelatin.
any of you guys are gonna fucking get is just like they eventually like there's holes in the thing and someone climbs up. He's like, "This hole was made for me," and then he climbs in. No one's
I
gonna
don't.
get
You're
that
right.
joke.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, I feel
look
like
up the,
when you're walking to the monolith too, though, there's just like 20 people doing the haka as you're
Look
walking.
up, if you want to get that joke, look up the Junji Ito short manga, the Enigma of Amigara Fault. I think it's called. It's fucking cool.
I'm going to be honest with you. I am never going to do that. I will
wasn't talking
die.
to you, Schweiss.
I will
like,
die, and the last thing I'll think is, yeah, I didn't look at that manga, you fuck.
That's like me, and I know I'll never watch One Punch Man. I know it'll never happen.
That's okay because Mob Psycho 100 is better. So
Okay. It's like the only anime I've finished that's not for a podcast is Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I plan on keeping it that way.
you know,
I thought you did.
Dragon Ball on
Yeah, I was going to
Espanol.
say, Dragon Ball.
How do you
Oh,
say
I-
it like a Spanish?
Oh, I
Japanese guy?
did finish that one. You're right.
Dragon
You
Ball.
just-
So now you gotta
But
watch
like that was
Z,
like
bro.
homework, you know.
You got to say it the same, just really fast. Dragon Ball.
Dragon
you
Ball Zeta.
That's how you say it in Spanish. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Can you
say
can
it
you
like
say,
someone
can you
just.
say in like an announcer's voice, the Saiyans are coming to Earth and Goku needs to go down Snake Way?
They're not called Saiyans; they're called Saiyajins.
Oh,
It's-
Saiyajin. Yes, I'm
it's-
sorry. I forgot
It's
Mexico
really
is...
intense.
I forgot
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z is like Mexico's national sport.
Saiyajin.
There was a meme I sent to one of the chats. Sorry, and Joe. Sorry, you're not a part of this one, Joe, but you would have laughed. I think it was. Oh no, you know the character. You don't know Brawly. Do you know Brawly or no?
No.
Oh, never mind. It was like talking about Dragon Ball Z, and it was like this Dragon Ball character with a sombrero at a Mexican restaurant. This guy's like, I've never been to a more Mexican establishment. And it was
Nice.
fantastic. But you're not cultured enough yet. You will be. in
Brawly-
Spanish.
Brawly-
I've
from,
stopped. I stopped watching Dragon Ball Z. It wasn't hard enough.
Wow.
I had to move on to. That's why I watched Elite, and now I'm watching another show called The Innocents, which is fucking crazy.
How many gay people are in that show?
None.
Not
None
enough.
so far. Actually,
Yeah, not enough to make him feel included, that's for sure.
I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah. Where's the cocksucking? Come on.
yeah. Where's the really fucking explicit gay sex scene where I'm like, how is this okay to put on television?
Wait. Was it men or was it women?
Two dudes.
Oh,
And,
see,
like,
that's not right. If
one
it's women,
dude-
just kidding. That's
the-
okay.
It was like, I don't know, like an inch away from like seeing dick to dick contact or dick to asshole contact. And I was like, this is too much. Like, there's a sex scene in season 4 of Elite where like a guy, it's on a telephoto lens, like looking out, really like pretty lighting on these two dudes like fucking each other. And like one dude is laying on the bed and he has like, it's like he's being fucked missionary style. But it's a dude, so
That's
he's
the
like
gayest possible
it's
way
a
to have
little
gay sex.
further back.
Yeah.
You know, he's got his legs up a little bit more, and the other guy's like plowing him from above, and like it's really writhy, and it was like too much. It was just, It was just too
Joe,
much for television.
You're wondering how that's okay to be put on TV. It's called art. Did
But
you not
my
play
thing
The Last
is,
of Us
like,
Part 2?
There's
That
some
has a
like
gay sex scene and it's fine.
there's a gorgeous actress in it in the first like 3 seasons named Carla. Not Carla. That's the name of her character. She's super fucking hot. And she does have like these not the sex scenes are less explicit with the women in it though, and I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah, Joe, they have to have
Come
a hot
on.
chick in the show
Equal
to draw
opportunity.
straight guys in. You can't boil the frog
I don't
immediately.
know.
You have to slowly turn the heat up.
Esther Esposito is really fucking hot Spanish actress, and she's great. She's great. They had a pretty hot chick in the last seasons too. It was like the character's name was Ari, and
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
yeah, Esther Esposito in the show specifically. Like I've seen her out in the wild. Like I Google searched her, and I'm like, okay, she's pretty here, but like in the show, the way they like photograph her and the way she's like made up, she's like fucking stunning. So it was.
I'll
nice.
take your word for it.
It was a good.
I ain't never
you
watching
don't
that
need-
show.
The first 3 seasons are worth watching.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's talk about Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
What
do
game?
it.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is a 2013 character action game and an unreleased 1980s sci-fi action movie developed by
Yeah.
Kojima Productions and Platinum Games and published by Konami. It was released in 2013 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. It was originally going to be a game called Metal Gear Solid Rising Lightning Bolt Action, in which it was going to explain what happened. That was literally like, because you know how like Metal Gear
That's
Solid has
hilarious.
tactical espionage action at the top?
Yeah,
This would be Lightning Bolt Action.
lightning bolt action.
Yes.
Fucking what?
Seriously.
That's even worse than
Oh,
Revengeance.
Vengeance isn't that stupid of a name now, is it, Joe?
Revengeance is
No.
the coolest word ever invented.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's the coolest fake word I've ever heard.
Yeah. I mean, all words are fake, technically, because we made them all up. But
Well, we got the deconstructionist here.
I'm just saying, apparently...
You can't rip on Last of Us 2 and then say that in the same...
I'm just saying, we made all this shit up because, like, the suffix "ussy" was, like, the most used thing last year or something, according to, like, some dictionary website.
I saw that. Ussy. Yeah, Ussy
yeah,
was
like,
the more.
like
Yeah.
pussy without the P. Like,
Yeah.
if it's boy
Pussy.
pussy, it's bussy.
Yeah, bussy.
Or if you want to fuck Master Chief and his chafussy or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes.
she pussy.
It's like that, that famous piano tune by that one composer, Debussy.
Yeah, it's like when Schweiss is whispering in Joe's ear, "I want your jussy." It's things like that.
I don't know what you guys are even talking about. What is this? What is this?
Stay pure. Stay
What the
pure.
fuck
Don't
is this?
even
What
worry
are we... What?
Yeah, stay pure.
about it. Anyway,
Pussy?
originally, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance was under development at Kojima Productions, like just themselves, and it was going to be like a way for some of the newer devs to work on something before they eventually got to what would become Metal Gear Solid 5. It was going to be a game that was going to explain what happened to Raiden between Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 4, because in Metal Gear Solid 2 he's just a guy, and in Metal Gear Solid 4 he's a fucking cyborg ninja. And the game was going to utilize a completely destructible environment where you could cut through virtually anything.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Where you can spend half of your playtime just like...
That's exactly what I did. I was like running through. I'm like, cars.
Like, oh, is this sign cuttable? Oh, it is. 5
I
minutes.
mean, you should look up like the original trailers for what this game was going to be, because it was like way more detailed than what we got in this game. Why are you playing the piano?
I'm not playing the piano.
Who's playing the piano?
Pascal Roger apparently is playing the piano.
Did Alexa start a song on you?
No,
Or do you not
that
have
was
that?
that was Debussy.
Oh, I was
that
gonna say,
was
do you know?
that was the Cloud A
I'm just
Debussy
thinking-
song.
I'm just
Claire
thinking of
de
the
Lune.
baby, but like he's got a pussy anyway.
Sorry.
Not to like spoil my review on this game, but honestly, Metal Gear Rising is probably my favorite movie I've beat this year so
Yeah.
far.
Just
Awesome.
some more quick background real quick. Eventually they found out that they couldn't really have stealth gameplay with like the fully destructible environments, and it kind of didn't lend itself great to like level design, because you could just cut through anything. And at some point, Kojima was too busy with stuff like Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and eventually Ground Zeroes, so it eventually got passed down to Platinum Games.
He was too busy working on his ultimate demise from the company that he saved because they're a bunch of fucking ingrates.
Yep.
Anyway.
And yeah, Platinum developed it basically with some of the stuff that the original game was going to have, like some of the stealth elements that no one fucking uses when they play this.
Yeah.
And the cuttable environments, but like way scaled down so it's not nearly fucking everything.
Yeah.
Because like the thing too, because those trailers where you could cut through fucking literally anything was all running on the Fox engine, which is the engine that Metal Gear Solid 5 runs on, which is like, and like PT. So like the graphics were insane, but you could also just cut through fucking anything. It looked like it never would have ran on PS3 ever. So the game, when it moved to Platinum, they were given freedom to move the game after Metal Gear Solid 4, so they had the freedom to sort of do whatever they wanted with the character and the story. So it is the last game chronologically in the Metal Gear timeline.
Yeah.
It takes place in the far future year of 2018. After the events of Guns of the Patriots, Raiden is working with a private military corporation called Maverick and goes up against another private military organization called Desperado, who is trying to basically destabilize various regions across the world in order to kickstart the war economy, because some of us lack that economy.
Dude, okay, so fucking the Senator and Sundowner are the most American villains I've ever played against. And
also,
it shows what the Japanese really think of like Americans.
They did nothing wrong.
Basically just Alex Jones in a robot suit.
Yeah, he is, yeah. He's amazing. He's hilarious.
Now you still can kind of see that, huh?
Yeah, they started with
give
the
war a chance. Then he stabs the president of
Give her a
Africa.
chance.
We gave you guys your guys' body pillow, your anime body pillows a chance. I came on one of them once. You guys got to give war a chance.
Of course, I also have this clip of him on my soundboard.
Like the good old days after 9/11.
Which is weird because Metal Gear normally doesn't like reference real world events like that, and then this game they're just like 9/11 this, WMDs in Iraq that, like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Like what's the level 6 or 5 when you're going up like right before you fight Jetstream Sam. Was like they were just like hardcore, like he's like what she said. They just like reference how shitty that was. It's crazy. I've never played a Metal Gear game before. No.
Yeah, they don't really reference.
Yeah, it's the first one.
Specific.
You're not supposed to start with the best one.
Yeah, really.
Our scores are going to vary wildly on this.
Look, this fucking thing's amazing. All right, I don't care what you say.
I knew Schweiss was going to fucking love this game.
I enjoyed the
That's
fuck
why I
out of
wanted him
this
to
game.
play it so bad, because like it's supposed to be a bucket list game. It's supposed to be a game he never played. Schweiss needed to play this game. I needed to hear his erection this episode. And I'm hearing it right now.
You can hear the seam about to burst my
you can hear
pants.
the ripping of his pants. Exactly.
But this game has, and I guess you said it. Don't play the best one. This has made me want to go back and play Metal Gear Solid because I know it plays differently, and I know. Shut up! I know. I know it doesn't.
There's zany like this. There's zany
but
like
this. I like the world. I like what I've heard about it and that stuff. So I want to play them. Like they're on my list of games to go back and play.
This is like the furthest in the future the timeline ever goes, but it does have the same wacky sense of just like, here's a boss that turns a bunch of bees into a Tommy gun because that's just a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like anime weirdness mixed with like hyper autism for the military and like getting gun models like exactly correct.
It would be your personality if you were born in Texas.
Yeah, and if I was like an army guy, pretty much.
If you were born in Texas, 100%.
I was like, man, this gun has an amazing slide, whatever the fuck. But also, what if this was being used against a 100-year-old sniper who lives by photosynthesis? And if you save during that fight and then come back to the console a week later, he literally dies of old age.
It is such a weird mix, the series of like, first of all, like 80s and 90s and action movies with James Bond, like that tone.
Yeah.
But then it does slide into like anime bullshit.
Oh yeah,
and sometimes realism. and utter realism. Like, you better patch yourself up, boy. You didn't eat for 3 days. You're about to die. Like, there's shit like that in
it's
it
not
too.
Even like it's not even like the survival shit from like Metal Gear Solid 3. It's also like you can tell Kojima is like a big military guy. Like with all the acronyms everyone's throwing around with zero explanation for what they are, and it's just like trying to like get the most realistic depictions of various weapons and equipment.
Yeah.
You can tell he's really into this shit. But then also it's like, what if one of the bosses was just a big fat guy in a fucking bomber jacket who's like
on rollerblades,
who's a bomber on rollerblades with a fruity drink with a crazy straw.
Yeah, there was one. There was a fucking tweet. I think you retweeted. It was like every Metal Gear Solid boss ever, and it's like her name's Cynthia something.
Oh yeah,
like,
her name is like screaming like. I want to find that so bad because like no, it's only the bosses from Metal Gear Solid 4 because they're all sexy ladies for some reason. But it's just like every Metal Gear Solid 4 boss is like
yes,
it is.
yeah. It's like every Metal Gear Solid 4 boss be like, this is crying manta ray. They stuffed 6 pounds of concrete in her ass. That's why she's like this.
Her parents fed her concrete as a child or something like that. It was hilarious. It was fucking. I was
always
dying.
like this hyper traumatic thing, and then like they're just a sexy like literally the bosses in Metal Gear Solid 4. They're like all sexy ladies, and like you defeat them in, like,
Solid 4,
you
actually.
defeat them in like a white void where you can like take their picture and they do sexy poses, which is like an Easter egg, but they can still do. Dude, it's wild.
So one of the things I wasn't expecting with Metal Gear Rising was for the ending to be because of the power of friendship, either.
Oh yeah,
that was something I wasn't.
Bullshit in this game you didn't expect.
Yeah, well, no, I wasn't. I wasn't expecting fucking Jetstream Sam to come over like Wolf's intercom and be like, "And you give him the sword when he's ready. It'll unlock after 20 minutes." And it's like,
bro, I spent an hour on the last level. I could have used this 40 minutes ago.
He gives you the coolest. He gives you the coolest sword ever made, where the hilt is a fucking assault rifle. So when he could, they show it earlier in the game where he pulls the trigger, so it shoots the sword out super fast, so he can quick draw it. Which I think when you use that weapon is an attack you can do.
And I don't know about any of the other Metal Gear games, but this game has some of the cheesiest one-liners and shit.
This one especially,
like just the lines, dude. When you're fighting the senator at the end, and he's like, "My original sword was to protect the weak, and but this one isn't mine." You're just
when I first played this game, and I got to that cutscene, and he's like, "I said my sword is a tool for justice, but now I'm not so sure. And besides," and I'm like, "You better say this isn't my sword." And he did. And I was like, "Yes, fuck yes,
this isn't my sword."
I really like the part where he goes to Mexico and he's like, they're like, "Make sure you blend in." And he's like, "Oh, I will."
And then he's got a big sombrero and a mariachi poncho, which is one of the unlockable costumes.
So one of my favorite things about that is I was watching a 4-play for a second, and when he got into the box and was sliding around, the sombrero stays on top of the box.
Yeah,
I love that.
Around.
It's so good,
fucking awesome.
The box,
but his Jack the Ripper skin was fucking awesome. I had to buy that one because like the red.
Is that the red and black one?
Yeah. Fucking sick.
I bought the sombrero one. I saved up for like 3 levels to buy that thing. I didn't do upgrades. I made it really hard. I was like, I gotta have it.
Replaying this, I forgot that like you could upgrade the sword.
Really?
I didn't, because like it's very like it's like almost hidden on the like when you go.
You have to click into the sword. I didn't know you could until the 3rd level in.
Dude, I didn't know it felt like the 6th level in. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. You can upgrade the strength of the sword. That's why these are taking so hard to kill.
What
like base power?
What sub weapon did you guys use? I kept it at the spear. That thing was sick.
I switched them out. I used the spear. I used all 3 of them: the spear, the sai, and the scissor blade. I just switched them out for whatever I thought would be the best.
I was pure sword. I never used the sub weapons.
Oh, I loved the spear. It was awesome.
The spear was sweet. I like the sai though too because it electrocuted him. So like when I fought Jetstream Sam, when he went to do like a bullshit move, I'd throw the sai at him and it'd electrocute him and stop him for a second. So I'd beat the shit out of him and then back off.
So does the game know it's dumb?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
There's
Yeah.
that part where you're fighting
It's part of the
where you're fighting
charm.
the senator, and he like flips the senator over, and the senator like looks around and then looks under his legs, and they show a shot of his ass.
Yeah.
This game knows it's stupid.
You're upside down. It's like
the
when
senator. The senator is a wrestler, like a professional wrestler.
No, he
he's
played
a
college
football
ball.
player. He played football, and he could have went
Ivy
pro.
League
No,
school.
no,
He
no.
could've gone
I
pro if he
mean,
hadn't joined the
like,
Navy.
archetypally, he is
Yeah.
a
Well, yeah.
wrestler. He's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
When he
does, like, a
goes to, like,
sumo
the
move at
jumping
one
in the
point.
air thing when he like goes to like give you like the elbow.
It's
Oh.
insane. Like the lines in this game, which A4 has touched on a little bit, but there's like magnetic force, Jack.
Check the internet
Nature's
lately.
force. Like there's like stupid ass fucking lines like that.
Dude, Monsoon's
I
entire
one
speech
pulled
about
up.
like free will is a myth, religion is a joke. We are
Yeah,
all
that's-
pawns controlled
that's when
by
I checked
something
my
greater. Memes, the DNA of the soul.
And there's like,
Yeah,
why won't you die, nanomachine, son?
Nanomachine, son.
Yeah.
Joe, this game is great, dude. This game is.
This game is what I believe the kids refer to as Kino.
I don't know what that means.
It literally means cinema in like most languages. But yeah,
I feel like they captured the wackiness of Metal Gear Solid pretty well. They definitely went way harder.
They went way
Well, because
harder on
it's
it. Way harder on
it's
it.
the company that made fucking Bayonetta and Vanquish.
'Cause, like,
They
Metal-
took Metal Gear under their wing.
They
Yeah.
took the dumb shit in Metal Gear Solid and then like
That was it.
cranked it.
Like,
Yeah.
this
It's
is
like-
the game, right?
It's like if Metal Gear Solid was a band, and like the dumb shit was the lead guitar player who occasionally came out and had a little solo.
And they pissed, and he pissed on the stage, and they kicked him out, and he formed another band.
No. They just turned up his amp and kept everyone else like down. That's all.
if
All I
dumb
can hear
shit's
is
the
lead guitar.
If the dumb shit's the guitar, then this game is Andrew WK's band because it's just like 7 guitars at the same time.
Yeah, it's true. Because like in Metal Gear Solid 3, you've got the one amazing scene where he's like, "You're not the Colonel," and then he like grabs your junk.
Yeah.
And then he like
true.
knows that you're not him based on your dick size.
There's way more insane scenes in.
Oh, there's
that
also
game
like
alone.
if you, like Solid Snake looking at her breasts for like just like you can press R2 and you can just see he's just
and then
looking at her
and then he
breasts.
suddenly doesn't care about women when he's introduced to that one gun, or I don't know, maybe the 2-minute pistol spinning scene that Ocelot has.
But here's the deal. But the ending is like still like super serious.
It's amazing,
and like
yeah.
really good
or maybe
and really
the scene
dramatic.
where Eva rides a motorcycle up Ocelot's fucking face.
Okay. So here's the deal, Zach. You're saying like this is like an intro, but it's really not because the other games, although have stupid elements, legitimately good storytelling and legitimately like good.
I don't
like,
think
really
this
powerful
was good
stuff.
storytelling. This was amazing.
No, this is dumb as fuck.
This was
this-
amazing.
The
This was
other
a great
the other
game.
games at least take themselves somewhat seriously, but this is just like a dumb
Yeah.
80s action.
Listen,
movie.
I was gonna say, speaking of junk, I was very uncomfortable when the senator's kneeling over you and his bulge is like right next to your mouth and chin, and it's like it grew with him. It got bigger, and I'm like,
There's that scene where he's straddling Raiden and just punching him a bunch of times. And
that's
I'm like,
it, yeah.
"Have
And
sex."
his dick's like right in his face, and I'd be like, Raiden, don't open your
exactly
mouth.
how I have sex.
As far as I can tell, Raiden is a woman from the waist down. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's like barely any human part of him left. It's like his right eye and
Yeah, it's
maybe like
this
his
part of
nose.
his
Why'd they
face.
give him like frankly, like a bombing ass? You know, like why did they
Because
build that?
Thor
into him?
knows what he likes.
No, Skull Hottie said it earlier. Every Metal Gear main character has to have an amazing ass. It is law. The Solid Snake also
That's
has a
true.
dumpy.
Solid Snake, yeah. You've seen those memes.
I've
Where he's-
not, you know.
There's a meme where like it's
He's not wearing the high
Solid
heels
Snake.
with like the beautiful, like
No.
shapely ass moving on
Honestly-
down to like
honestly,
a thin
Senator-
ankle. You know, like it's like such a beautiful S shape to his bottom half of his body. It's beautiful, man.
That ass shot of Senator Armstrong, you can see how angular his ass is. That's why he lost. His ass was not as good as Raiden.
Yeah, they didn't put as much detail in.
Why is
That's
he
where the
wearing
Zendatsu
high
comes
heels? Who thought of that? It was like
It's okay. To be fair,
for-
he was wearing high heels in Metal Gear Solid 4 as well.
Oh my god.
He's a
I don't know why.
fag.
And dropped off at Twitch.
Yeah.
It'll happen one of these days.
That's one of my favorite Sopranos clips, by the way.
It is also one of mine, but I definitely wouldn't quote it on Twitch.
Yeah, that wasn't me quoting. That was the actual drop. I just do a very good.
Which is funny because when I said that should be a drop on our show, you were like, "Oh, we shouldn't do that." That was the only time Schweiss has ever been like the sober guy about like fucking dumbass decisions.
Yeah. Well, now I'm like, nah, I was wrong.
Yeah, now Schweiss is like, make him say the whole word.
Yeah, add the gut. And everyone forgets there's a gut after that fag.
To give a very brief story synopsis, basically what ends up happening is Raiden uncovers a fucking conspiracy involving child trafficking where they're taking a bunch of kids and taking their brains out and training them in VR, much like he was, to become child soldiers and to become cyborgs. So because he's kind of got a personal stake in this, because that's more or less what happened to him, he goes to try and save these kids' fucking detached brains with just the eyes darting around.
The children who talk like 50-year-old men.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Did any of you play with subtitles on?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when that little kid talks,
Jar Jar Binks in the body of fucking
and then it's the subtitles under what he says to translate what he says.
Yeah, so he meets like a kid in the sewers in Mexico who talks like Jar Jar, like he speaks like pidgin. And then they have to they subtitle like what he's saying phonetically, and then they in parentheses subtitle it in plain English under that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Not the most that sounds super racist. Like I don't know what's going on there. Translation team.
I was like, oh my god,
a little wrong there.
If you're a cyborg, you know who they is.
And then in the bottom it goes, if you're a cyborg, then you know who they are.
But, this kid, this kid, by the way, A4 just did that about 3 octaves too high as far as the kid's voice.
Oh yeah, he sounds like
that kid. Sounds like a grown ass fucking man. That kid sounds like he might be a grandpa. Even
he did introduce me to the greatest slur ever, which is skunt.
Skunt?
Yeah.
And he calls them skunts. He goes, "They skunts," a few times.
And he's like, apparently he's not Mexican because there's
he sounds Jamaican.
He said where he was from.
Where's he from? Is it Jamaica?
It's a South American country, and
fuck, I'm racist.
No,
Guadalajara.
No, Guadalajara is a city in Mexico.
Guadalajara.
Hold on, I'll
is
find
that
it.
A Kodak call?
Keep talking.
I don't remember that.
I'll find it. It starts with a G.
Guatemala.
No, not Guatemala. It's not Spanish speaking.
Guam.
No, it's not Guam.
Guar.
Is it
Guar?
Guyana.
Oh yeah.
You made that up.
So kind of by Jamaica. Jamaica.
Is that in a Kodak call that they tell you where he's from? Because I don't remember that in any of the cutscenes, and I didn't.
It's French
really
Guyana. No, they say it. They say it in the kid says he's from Guyana.
You don't pay attention to cutscenes. I don't believe
couldn't
you.
Understand a fucking word he said.
And the reason I remembered it was because I was like, "Oh, isn't that country in South America?" I remembered the country, and it was like, "Oh yeah, that's that one country that doesn't speak Spanish."
You and your fucking.
It's on my list of
Jeopardy brain.
It's on my list of places to start a.
I couldn't remember it, and I just had to Google it, so that's not true.
Look, all I know is it's one of those shithole countries.
Guys,
it's actually
Spanish.
French Guiana is part of France, so it's the part of the UN that's in the Americas.
That's
right
still
there.
A shithole country. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
A lot of people will get citizenship in Europe by moving to French Guiana.
Look, their president is literally a mini cookie. All right, Macron. Come on, that's like those little. That's those little cookies, not the good ones.
He's not just a mini cookie.
Macaroons. How crazy would that be?
Look, macaroons are good. Cookie. Macrons.
He's also a.
Yeah. Macrons are gross. Macaroons, I like.
It eventually is found out. It eventually found out that the people behind the child abductions and the turning them into cyber soldiers is a U.S. senator named Stephen Armstrong, who is my vote for 2024. Honestly,
yeah, pretty good.
And he's basically using the war economy and war as a business to end the war economy and war as a business.
And 100% he tells you that he's like, I want an America where you can choose what you die for. And like we were talking about how they get
He's
political,
like
they
literally
do
the
get
final
political because
boss
he goes, not someone going to die for someone else's oil in another country, and it's like, oh, they went there, like they.
He's basically the final
Kojima
boss
went
of
there.
libertarians.
Yeah, the god.
He's
of
like,
the
if I want to
libertarian.
build a fucking atom bomb in my garage, I should be allowed to.
Yeah, it's like Rand Paul if he were 8 inches taller and not a weasel.
Not a pussy.
With steroids.
Yeah, with a bunch of steroids, and he
And
had a belly.
nanobots.
And nanobots, son.
Fucking and a scrotum vein going across his heart and his whole chest.
In his head, yeah. That's basically who he is. It's amazing.
So what did you guys think of the story?
It's fucking sweet.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
I
Awesome,
like the
bro.
attention to detail, like the fact that the Mexican sewers had no toilet paper in it. That was refreshing. And I made that joke weeks ago because I thought maybe we'd review this game, last year when I beat it. But those kind of little tidbits are nice. I think it takes the comedy from Metal Gear Solid and it does like crank it up like to 1,000,000, and the cheese because Metal Gear Solid like. It is pretty serious, like until you get to the bosses and like some of the shit. But like overall, what's happening is like pretty serious. So it's weird.
It's pretty serious until you fight like a fucking Iroquois guy in a tank who's throwing grenades at you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that
Vulcan
is
Raven.
That is the first game, but so maybe it's not.
I'm just trying to get a big potpourri of different weird bosses from the entirety of the series.
Yeah, I know.
And the easy one is Psycho Mantis, but whatever.
Yeah,
that's the easy cherry pick.
They didn't really do that with us in this one, though. They didn't refer to us, the player. That's kind of something that I feel like was missing, right? Because
they didn't even tell us how to play
fourth wall breaks.
Yeah, there were no fourth wall breaks. Yeah, I didn't tell you how to play the game at all, and for a long time, I didn't know there was a lock-on function until the final boss. So that was fun.
It's weird. It's weird that there's no fourth wall breaks because arguably the biggest fourth wall break in the entire series is like at the end of Raiden's original story in 2, where like they're basically fucking with the game because it's like his mind is deteriorating and like the simulation is coming down or whatever.
Right, where it tells you that's the part where our Sarah and Cody Chronicles Cody was like, I can't get past this game, dude. I can't beat Metal Gear Solid 2. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's easy. You're like, no, I just get to this point and it just says I died. I'm like, oh, is it like in the middle of a fight? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, don't press continue. Just press everything else. Just keep fighting in the tiny screen. And then it'll go away eventually. And he's like, oh, what? And I was like, yeah, the game fucks with you. They always fuck with you somehow. Like, it'll say, like, it'll
when
do the
Colonel
game
calls
over.
him, he's literally like,
because in the first one, the psychic dude, if you have to like press like the one, like you go from the 1 port to 2, right? And then
yeah, that's how you fight him. Yeah.
No, I mean, like they all do that, but like,
and he'll tell you if you have
the
stuff.
biggest one is the ending of 2.
If you have stuff on your memory card, he'll like talk about like other Konami games. Like if you have Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Yeah, because he's reading your mind, right? He's reading your mind, not Snake's mind.
Still, the coolest thing is if you have the Rumble controller, he's like, put your controller on the floor, and then he moves it with the Rumble. It's fucking, it's so creative and so dumb. I love it.
The annoying part is when you're playing it on PS3, you have to like turn the controller or change the controller to like slot 2.
It's annoying as
like,
fuck.
Fuck, and now I gotta go back.
Yeah,
takes forever. But yeah, they do that all the time. I didn't really get that.
Yeah, not a lot of that in this game, honestly.
Lame.
I'm trying to think if there's any of that shit in this game. Now that I think about it.
No, there's a call at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2 where you have like a rocket launcher that'll lock onto stuff, and when you get to the like oil wells or the oil refinery, like plank platform thing, you can lock it onto a bunch of seagulls. And like I was launching like full on rockets at these seagulls, and I got a call suddenly from like the colonel and my girlfriend, and he's like, does that make you feel like a man riding, killing innocent animals? And then she's like, you make me sick. Like, so there's nothing like that, but I don't know.
Playthrough, I didn't really do a lot of the codec calls, because you can just kind of call them whenever to like have that flavor text happen. But you do unlock them when you beat the game, and you can just play them in sequence. So,
wow,
there's that.
Who wants to give a story a score?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
Yeah,
not me.
I think the story is insanely entertaining. It's very stupid in a good way. There are a few problems with it, like when the Jack the Ripper thing happens. it kind of just gets forgotten about immediately after that boss fight. It's basically just there to be like, here's this game's version of the fucking Devil Trigger. And it really kind of it wants to try and say something more profound about Raiden's like desire to not kill people, but that he does want to kill people, but they don't really flesh it out in any way whatsoever. But I don't think that detracts from how entertaining the story is. I think I would give the story an 8. It's just a solid, really dumb action movie, essentially. And every time I play it, I'm chuckling, even though I know exactly what's coming, because it's just so fucking out there.
Schweiss, what are you going to give it? I'm interested to hear.
I can be the contrarian. We can go in turns. I don't need to be last. Let me do this real quick. I found it. I found the little details of it pretty impossible to follow. So it was like really dense in some areas that were really, really dumb.
Like what?
To me. The time jumps, his relationship with the other like robot guy, it was all really muddy to me. Like I felt like I must have missed a line. I felt like that all the time, where I was like, did I miss something? Like what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, you missed the line that says 3 weeks later after he
No,
gets his, like,
I
arm
got,
cut off and he gets
I got
rebodied.
that part, but then I also, the character thing with the violence thing, like, made no sense to me. The child that's 50 years old and like the whole plot with them, all the skipping around, it had no flow. It like suddenly the game was ending, and I really. Like you had like 3 levels that were like an hour long.
Yeah, and then
suddenly 3. The game's done. Like, and it's over.
The last 2 are pretty brisk.
The pacing I thought was really clunky, and for me as a Metal Gear Solid fan of like 1 and 3, I went to this thing and I was gravely disappointed in it. I was like, "What the fuck is this thing? What is this?" This jaw-droppingly stupid side game for this like great series. So there's an element of like the tone is totally off for me,
right?
With this game, and there's an element of disappointment involved as well. I was like about an hour into the game, and I was like, this is not doing it for me.
It's like me being a Sonic fan, and then they make Shadow the Hedgehog where he's riding a motorcycle and has a real gun, except that's also the best game in that series, so it's very much a parallel to this one.
I disagree. I'm gonna go at, like, the one-liners were fun to laugh at, kind of like it's funny when in Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise when they say chaos like 9,000 times.
Right.
It has a similar element of like, this is so fucking dumb, I'm gonna laugh at it.
No, hold on real quick, because I haven't played Stranger of Paradise yet, but I really want to. Would you say that's the Revengeance of Final Fantasy?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, so I also found it hard to follow, and I didn't enjoy it. So outside of like the fights, like the dialogue in the fights, that's a lot of fun. So that's where I'm like, okay, those are good, right? But everything else, I'm like fucking out.
Figures Joe wouldn't appreciate the closest Metal Gear has ever come to cinema. So,
I guess it's like a dumb 80s action movie in terms of the one-liner, but I can usually follow those plots. So, like, this was just,
You did also beat this a while ago, so you're probably forgotten a bunch of it.
Yeah, but I remember having the issue then. I was just like, I can't.
Right.
What the fuck is going on? And it was disappointment. I'm teetering between a 4 and a 5. I'll give it a 5.
I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Yeah, my final pick's gonna have a higher score than yours, A4. I'll make sure of it. There's gonna be a whole line of zeros from me just to make sure this is worse than Hooters Road Trip.
Don't do that shit.
The show's ending. Who gives a fuck?
Now, what if they made Hooters Road Trip?
What do you, Schweiss? What do you give this story?
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's funny. I do think it has some of the problems Joe was talking about, though. Like, there's a lot of stuff that kind of happens off screen, like how you and Sam are kind of buddies. It's not really that you're buddies. It's just that, like, he has like a change of character off screen, sort of, and he like is like, well, I will help him out. But it's kind of a weird. It's almost like an old. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a movie of which I don't really remember, but it's kind of a cheap trick that they pull where we don't get to see anything that indicates that they're now on our side, sort of, kind of, and then they sacrifice themselves.
I don't think he was ever on your side, though. He was just like, whatever happens, happens, and if he wins, then he's good enough for this.
Yeah, but I mean, he definitely wasn't working for the people who he was working for by helping you. But I guess maybe when he's dead, he doesn't really give a shit.
It doesn't matter. You're dead. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I guess maybe it's like in Game of Thrones, like season 3 or whatever, where Jon Snow has to fight the half-hand guy, and it's kind of similar to that, but we get no setup at all. At least with that, you get like the, right, you're gonna have to kill me right now.
Yeah, there's scenes missing in this plot.
Yeah, I love the writing, though. It's really fucking funny. The one kid is amazing. I love seeing like he being able to understand what he's saying and it being fucking funny, and then like the Google Translate version, the tamed down like version below that's not quite right, and then the version below it that's even less right than what he's actually saying. I thought that was fucking funny. That reminded me
like
also
when you see the subtitles not matching the words and like
that also reminded me of another scene in Game of Thrones where like the fucking dude is like, the slave owner is talking shit to Dany, and she can totally understand him, but he thinks she can't, and he's just like fucking laying it on like hard. And then the chick is like, he says this should be a great friendship, and she has to like fucking like recover, you know? So yeah, that was fun. I really liked the characters. I thought they were all pretty zany and good, but I do kind of agree, though, it is a little more heavy on the cheese than all the other Metal Gear Solids, but I laughed pretty hard.
It's like when you
get
get a plate of nachos and it's just drowning in fucking cheese. Too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You gotta put a snorkel on your fucking fingers to even get a chip.
Yeah. So when I was playing it, I was having a great time. So, but the story, it is kind of muddy and it is kind of like missing some stuff. I did do the free DLC, not all of it. I did like the first little bit of where you get to play as Sam in a free DLC.
Weirdly enough, I have not played either of those DLCs, despite loving this game.
Yeah, I downloaded it, and then I had to give the game to Joe like 2 hours later. So
fucking Joe.
Yeah, I know. I only played a little bit, but what about you?
Well, I don't have Joe's qualms. I'm giving it an 8 too. I fucking had a shit ton of fun. This game is like I fucking snorted cocaine and I just went for it. It was beautiful.
Because the plot just kind of like, it just starts fast and it just never slows down.
Dude, no. Like, honestly, man, like, you're right. It's cheesy 80s action movie or like Expendables, bro. Like, it's just this stupid.
Yeah, like it's dumb.
Not so. It's so dumb. It is dumb, 100%. But it's fucking fun and it's amazing.
Yeah,
and it's short. If you could get that block down, the game
like
goes so much.
Game.
Yeah, it's chill. Super great.
They set the tone perfectly when the very first boss is a Metal Gear Ray, which is like one of the last things you fight in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like when they start off with a boss that is basically the final boss of a completely different game in the series. And it's like, all right, this is what we're doing. And you just pick him up and throw him.
Yeah.
And then run along his body and slash it up to the greatest song ever written.
Getting the wolf was rad. That, like, speaking of like missing context, the fact that you cut the shit out of him and then he's randomly backing on your side.
It's kind of stuff.
But I didn't care.
Yeah, it's kind of stuff that you can just hand wave. It's like, yeah, they probably just reprogrammed the wolf. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's perfect.
even though in the very last thing I did, I was cutting him into a billion pieces at the end of the boss fight.
Yeah, we just got some super glue. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. Nano machines, boy.
Nanobots, son.
Yeah.
And that's perfect.
All right. What about the gameplay of this game, A4? What do you think?
This is an interesting game because I don't think the gameplay is as solid as Bayonetta. It's close. What's
it's
interesting
more
about
rising. Like, it's not quite to the solid level. It's like rising.
No, I mean, it kind of is rising.
Like developing.
Such a dumb show.
He does have a better ass than Bayonetta, though.
You know what?
And she's got a great ass.
Yeah, we're not talking like a dog ass here. Hers is good.
No, it's interesting because it is more rising because really the only defensive maneuver you even have in this game is the parry, which forces you to be attacking towards the opponent to pull off.
Yeah.
So like the entire game is offensive, not sensible wise. I mean, like
about
you're
half
on
of
the
it's
offense.
that way though. In case you're
but like, well, yeah, when fucking Armstrong, whatever. Oh no, it's the little boy. He's the offensive part. No, you're always on the offense in this game. You are encouraged to just keep going in on the enemies. You're basically encouraged to just keep hitting them with combos until you see they're about to attack, and then try to interrupt with a parry because your parry animation cancels almost anything.
Yeah.
So it's very versatile. And I think that makes the game feel super fast and frenetic in a way that makes you feel like you are a cyborg ninja. Because the combos are also easy as shit to pull off. You can almost button mash, and it all looks really cool while you're doing it. Like, you feel like you're doing cool shit, even though you're just mashing square and triangle.
Even though you're just sitting on your fat ass playing this Japanese game.
Well, yeah, but like there are other character action games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry that require a little bit more finesse in order to pull off like high level combos. But here, like all the combos are really easy to just kind of mash your way through, and they all look cool. So the execution part of that is really low bar, I want to say. Like there is cool stuff you can do when you get some of the other abilities you can unlock, like the lightning palm thing and all the other stuff. But it's just interesting that this game is almost entirely focused on offense.
Yeah,
and
I liked the one where you got really spinny with the spear. You would like go hit a couple times, and then you do this like spin move, and you just wreck. That's really cool. They did some really cool shit in this game with the like you go into that VR mode, or what do they call it? AR mode.
The VR missions.
No, not those. I'm talking.
Oh,
like
you mean the AR vision?
Yeah,
where you, like highlight stuff.
Where you like go into this mode where it's like a third person and you're standing there and you can angle the way you're gonna hit the slash. I never fucking did that.
Oh, you mean
right?
Zantatsu, the blade mode?
Yeah. That was
there's a few bosses where you have to do it.
You didn't have to. The final boss, you can run forward and dodge that completely.
What?
Yeah,
Are you
dude.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that saved me so much time.
That shit drove me fucking nuts, dude. That was so fucking hard.
I know. That's why I was like, "Fuck this." Let's see if I can do it.
Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna make it for the review.
I looked up guides, dude. No one said that.
Yeah.
No one said it.
You can just sprint forward and dodge it completely. It'll just go right over your head. It'll miss, and then he comes back down.
Oh, god damn it!
That sucked, and then the fight against the one guy sucked for the same reason, because I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Yeah.
Dude,
what, Sundowner with a shield?
I got the Sundowners down. For some reason, with the Senator, like, I couldn't do it. I barely fucking edged the one that I did beat him on.
Yeah.
Just barely. I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, right when he starts throwing
Revengeance Gate, because if you didn't slice through all those things he throws at you, I don't think you really beat the game.
Yeah. I mean, everyone else did it that way, but I was like, fuck that. I think Skull or someone was in the chat was like, hey, just so you know, you don't have to cut those. You can just run forward and dodge them completely. And I was like, oh, are you fucking serious?
Bastard.
That's like the one. It's like the one guy knowing that enemies level up with you in FF8, and he put it on a forum deep in the internet. God damn it! That's like the secret, dude. That's like the fucking why is this not public knowledge?
I don't know. It's so nice.
I'll admit this time through, I also fucked up the slashing minigame, but not the parts where you have to slash all the stuff he's throwing at you. I fucked up because at the end when he jumps at you, I forgot you have to slash his face.
Yeah.
So I let go of the blade mode button. I'm like, oh god damn it!
I cut him into like cubes, man. It was like Resident Evil movie mode on him.
There were moments where I was in the sword thing and I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do, and I fucked up, and it was like, oh, you're dead. Oh, it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
So fighting the Senator,
so annoying.
So every night, me and my girlfriend do a FaceTime for like a half hour or so, and I told her, I'm like, listen, I have to have this game beat because we're going on a date Wednesday. I need to have this game beat. And it was Tuesday. I was like, we have to have it done. So I'm playing it, and she hung up on me because she was sick of hearing me yell and scream. because I was like, "Fuck this fucking game!"
I wish I had the audio of you against.
And so she goes, "Suck," and like I paused the game, and she goes, "I'm hanging up on you until you can be an adult," and I was like.
Listen here, bitch. I mean,
I'm fighting to make America great again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
I'm fighting my own wars, not for money, not for oil.
We call those a Craig date. That's a Craig date.
Oh my god.
No, so we had a date. No, we had a date Wednesday, so I had to be like, "Babe, I can't. I have to beat this tonight."
Yeah. Did you?
I have to beat it tonight.
You're like, sorry.
Instead of fucking glitch, he says fucking bitch.
Yeah, fucking bitch. Yeah, I fucking love the gameplay in this game, though. I think it's super fun. I like the different weapons. I like the customization, the upgrades. I like the combos.
Honestly, the
cutting everything into a million pieces is like I spent so much extra time just like fucking. Salad chopping everything I could. It was awesome.
The trees.
The bus.
That's why it took me 5 hours to beat it and you 7 hours.
The bus, dude. The bus alone was like a 20-minute chore. It was so much to cut.
on the level where you get into Denver and the cops attack you.
Yeah.
After I killed them, I just fucked up fucking the police cars. I'm like, every car here is destroyable.
Don't forget about the posters of the women that have the caution tape, and you can cut through them, and they're like, "That's my boy."
Yeah,
they're in like bikinis.
Yeah, that was fun.
Funny, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't talk about how Denver's a fucking war zone. Like fucking like a post-apocalyptic Denver of all cities. It's like Kojima looked at a map of the U.S. and just kind of like threw a fucking pin, and he's like, "Oh, I guess Denver's the fucked up one."
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
Denver?
like you guys should have went with Portland.
It's not Detroit. It's not San Diego. It's not like somewhere with a really high murder rate already. And like, in 2018, it's going to be really fucked up.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you legalize marijuana.
Like Denver.
When you legalize marijuana in your state,
yeah,
shit goes crazy.
They should have done Portland.
It only became a war zone after Raiden showed up.
Yeah, true. Before it was just a heavy police state. That's all.
Yeah, with the cops with the fucking like porno mustache, and he's just like, code number 90217 or something, assaulting a police officer. You're under arrest, and they all whip out their fucking like
beat sticks
rods at the same time. Yeah.
I love
that scene gave me a little bit of PTSD as a Mexican talking to police officers.
Oh, not the Mexican sewers.
I was like, wait. I'm complying.
Yeah.
And they were like, officer down. And I was like,
honestly,
turn off their cameras.
My biggest gripe with the game.
I'm only half. And they're like, "Oh, you're half white. Never mind. He's okay."
They just They shoot you in both knees instead.
No, that's why they went after Raiden, not because he like crashed his car through like a police barricade, but it was like, "Oh, you're from Liberia? Oh, this dude's fucked."
Yeah, take him down. Yeah, no, they should have done Portland. I did make my Black Lives Matter joke as well while I was cutting up the cop car. Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest gripe I have with the gameplay is
you don't get it.
Implementation of like other items and stealth, because I don't think this game really
the only time you stealth is when there's an enemy that you know is going to cause a hard time, and you can
those fucking gorilla things.
Yeah, you can kill
those,
one of them
bro.
real fast, and then the other one you're going to have to fight. That's kind of how it was.
Because they have like a few sections where like there's like dudes that are hostages, and if you can like sneak in and stealth kill the guys to save them, then you don't even really get anything. I think you get like an achievement if you get all 4 of them. But
yeah, that's not what this game is, though. This game's action.
No,
so I did not have the patience.
They even go
for
so
that.
far as to have like a 3D photo frame is like a distraction item, kind of like the magazines from the Metal Gear games where you throw them down and the guards get distracted. But it's like, who is ever going to use this?
Yeah,
because like as soon as they all see you, it just becomes a platinum game where it's like, I'm just going to kill everyone in the area until it ranks me.
A couple missions to the very end is when I started to just have a blast, because like you start hacking the guys, you kind of know when they're a little weak. You go into the AR or VR mode and you just cut off their fucking midsection, and then you grab their anal beads from their chest cavity.
Oh, dude!
And then just smash them in your
all
hands.
Those animations.
I like how you can. Sorry, A4, what were you saying?
No, all those animations for the Zendatsu when you like get the middle section where you can grab their like electrolyte.
Yeah.
No, they're not electrolytes. They're anal beads.
They got their fucking Gatorade anal beads in there.
Yeah, all those fucking animations are like fucking stellar, and I never get tired of watching them. Like even just the one where, because there's like parts where you can stun enemies, and then you can like press like triangle and circle at the same time to like initiate a quick little move where you like get to go instantly into a Zendatsu.
Yeah,
and it's just like the one where he like attacks like just a normal soldier, and he just like does these quick little moves and flings him up in the air, and then you just slow-mo cut him in the midair and grab his fucking like, and it's the sickest shit ever.
Well, I liked as well with that how you could combo off. So like if you had people around you and you were cutting, like you like did like two people at once, like if they got stuck, you could press circle and then press circle again, and he would grab both of them and just like smash. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, you can get like a bunch of them if you're really good at the same time.
I enjoyed the game, gameplay wise. There were really frustrating parts, things that aren't explained. The control scheme you can't even really like look up in the menu. So there were some things I had to fucking Google search to figure out.
Like the log on button.
Okay, so
what the fuck?
One thing that's weird with this, because Platinum always puts them in their games, but not in this one for some reason, is like a list of combos. Like I could never find it. I don't know what I was doing wrong. It doesn't exist. No, there's definitely one in the game because I've seen video footage of it. Like I'm watching a video.
When you buy the combo, I think it'll tell you what it is.
No, but there's like literally like in Bayonetta, like they have a list of like what all the button combos are. Like there is one in this game. I just don't know where the fuck it is because it's not in the fucking pause menu.
Well, either way, yeah, that would also be a problem with gameplay. It's not being able to figure out how the fuck to play the game. So it definitely caused problems on things like Monsoon. And I felt like that was like Monsoon specifically was not one where it was Metal Gear Solid clever to figure out how to get him. You know, it's not like some little like trick. It's like literally just like, oh, you don't know how to do this and you have to Google it in order to figure out how to fucking do this. So
I mean, it is kind of a trick though, because you have to like smack his head.
Yeah, but you have to know to smack his head. Like, what the fuck? It's like in what the fuck game was it? Alone in the Dark: A New Nightmare. It was like when the final boss is like lurching towards you. There's like the only shots that'll matter is when like one shoulder is forward, and there's no way of knowing that that's like a cue from the game. Like it gives you nothing, and so I had a big rant about it. And it's kind of in that category of like, I would have never figured this out unless I was on a desert island for like a year. Like I wouldn't have ever been like figured this fucking out on my own. Or if I like really fucked around with the game, maybe that's a possibility. But I was definitely playing through this like pretty streamlined, pretty like go to the next thing, go to the next thing, go to the next thing, and not thinking about it. So, right. And to me, it wasn't like Metal Gear Solid 3 where you're like, oh, I want to fuck around. Like, this wasn't a fuck around game. This was like a fucking get to the next thing because it's an action game. It's like going. And then suddenly I get to a brick wall named Monsoon. And I have to learn about magnetic force being nature's force. And all like over and over again and just in total frustration. So I don't love that aspect of it. I don't love how dense it is, basically.
I will say
for the player, and then like the store system, like the upgrade stuff, I thought was really limited. Oddly, I'm like, why even have this? And then the slicing and dicing, it was like pick and choose the slice and dice. Like I felt like they could have leaned into that even further. So I thought it was a little like it was fun, but it was pretty unbalanced, and I think it could have definitely been a lot better. I'll give it a 7. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was great.
All right. What about you, Zach?
Unlike Joe, I'm good at video games. No, just kidding.
That's why you texted me, how the fuck do I kill Monsoon?
All I didn't know is I also text A4 first, and A4 goes, I don't remember, and I'm like, fuck you.
And then I said, Google
I haven't played this game in like almost a decade.
I think I remember actually I was using grenades, but I did that on every boss. Because it's like a fast way to wreck them.
Yeah.
Oh, Schleiss didn't beat this game. He didn't.
What I'm mad about is when I did. So Joe told me he watched a video on how to beat Monsoon. So I turned it on for a second and I saw what they did. What made me mad is I hit his head a few times and I just didn't realize that was what I was supposed to like go for.
Yeah.
Because it didn't click into me. And I'm gonna say that's my fault.
I think there's certain moves of his you have to parry, and then it automatically.
You have to parry his entire body thing, and then you can get
also
up
a long ass fight too.
Yeah,
so
it's a long fight.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it has the best song in the game. But that's,
I would agree with that. I really liked the song for Monsoon. But I think gameplay, I'm going to give an 8. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I got pretty good with the counter because you have to. But I had fun. I had fun slicing things up. I had fun destroying the environment. I had fun cutting people to ribbons. I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
They teach you early that you need to get good at the parry. Like if you're not proficient at it by Blade Wolf, you're gonna get your shit.
You're gonna take forever on that fight until you get good at it. Yeah, that's pretty much what that fight is. That's what Joe texted me on that one. He's like, "How the fuck do you get past the wolf?" I'm like, dude, flick the bean towards the bad guy and hit square, dude. And you'll fuck him up. It's just gonna take a little while.
Oh my god!
I will be honest though, the parry, like the window.
Not good.
It's way
the
wide.
Timing window for he takes a while, like when he does that thing. Like now you don't get like the retaliation move if you don't do it like
right
before they attack. But like if you do that move, he will sit there for like a solid second and a half and block anything that comes his way. So it's pretty generous.
Yeah, it's too generous in a lot of ways. But if you, like he said, if you wait the last second, then you'll like wreck him, smack him back, and then it's an actual.
Yeah, and that's
parry.
really where the challenge of the game comes from.
Yeah. What about you, A4?
I do like this gameplay. I don't think it's as good as some of Platinum's other like character action game. Like I would say Bayonetta plays better than this, just slightly, by having more like defensive options. I think it's a cool choice to have this be all offense. But it also does feel a little hamstringed in the sense that they tried to fit in the Metal Gear Solid stuff that doesn't really fit, like using stealth and items in ways that it's just like, I don't know why anyone would actually do this unless they were trying to get specific trophies or what have you.
Yeah.
In fact, you dodging Senator Armstrong's attack and using grenades on all the enemies is basically the same thing as Joe calling in help for all the bosses on Bloodborne. So I'm still no, but I do like this game a lot, but it is a little clunky in places, so I'm going to give it an 8 as well. It's definitely not Platinum's finest, but it's still damn fun.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. I think it was fucking sweet. It's probably not quite as good as Bayonetta, but it's damn close in my opinion. I think it's a lot of fucking fun. I like the fact that you can parry or block. And yeah, it's a little slow, but if you get it right, you can like really fuck them up. Because if you hit that parry just right, you can go right into the Zanmatsu or whatever and just start fucking hacking away.
You know what? Actually, fuck it. I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah,
you've convinced me.
And what other game can you just go ham on a shopping cart whenever you feel like and just like get little pieces of it for upgrades later? Like it's awesome. And then I don't know, even the part where you play as like the little robot guy, that was super cool, and like having to knock people out. There is a bit of a stealth option, you're right, but it's more of like a gimmick. And I think there's like one trophy where you have to get to a certain point without being seen or something.
Right.
But I didn't get that. I just kind of burned through the game. But it's really fun to play. I really liked the combat in it. Once you start getting used to it, it's a blast, and like just fucking. Oh, you got like torsos sliding around the ground like worms. You just like you're like why can't I advance? You turn around, there's this guy's like fucking midsection coming at you, still going.
It's also
like the fucking Black Knight from
Monty Python.
Monty Python, yeah.
It doesn't come into play too often, but like for traversal, that ninja run where it just kind of automatically has you jumping through obstacles and like over shit is really cool.
Yeah, it reminded me of Vanquish a lot, another Platinum Games game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it should because
it's also Platinum. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but it's very similar to that. I thought it was a lot. God,
if only Raiden had rocket knees.
Yeah, then it would truly be Vanquish.
Yeah.
What about sound and music? Zach, I'll let you start this one off. What do you think of the soundtrack, voice acting, all that?
Okay, so dug the music a lot. I thought the music was great. I like the music in all the boss fights. I think it's fantastic. I love the little French Guiana child's voice. Fantastic. I like the voice acting. I actually really like Raiden's voice. I thought it was great. My girlfriend was here for a little bit of it and then made fun of it. She's like, he doesn't even sound like a cyborg. I'm like, shut up.
Like, the only time he's cheesy is when he goes like full Jack the Ripper mode. He's like, now you're just being nasty. But it's like, it's still great because he's just hamming it up.
Yeah. I'll give it an 8. I liked it.
Okay.
I had nothing wrong with it. Again, the music, I really like the music. Sorry, Monsoons I listen to a lot because he's the boss that I fought the most for the longest amount of time. So I learned to love it.
Wait, Joe, wasn't the guy who plays Axel in Kingdom Hearts the guy we met at fucking KupoCon? Is that the guy we met?
I'm not sure.
No.
Quentin Flynn?
I would have to look up his credits.
Wait, was this not the year that I came?
No.
Was this like a different year?
It was a different year. He looks like the guy. And he's the one who voiced Raiden.
Because he's Axel in Kingdom Hearts. He's also Reno in like basically everything before remake. Like in Advent Children and in Crisis Core and stuff.
Yeah, that looks like the dude. Maybe they just all look the same. I don't know. But...
No, that is Quentin Flynn. It is Raiden. So maybe you did see him.
Yeah, he was the one that Krenital made fucking upset because he was like, "Isn't there another Kingdom Hearts game coming out?" And he's like, "What?"
Oh, I didn't meet him. You guys did.
Oh yeah, and then Krenital kept going after it, and he's like, "No, no one said anything to me." And he started getting pissed, like they were ousting him, and he's like. I was like, Krenital, there's not a new Kingdom Hearts. He's like, no, I think there is. And he's getting visibly upset at the fact that there's a game coming out and we know about it, which means it's almost done. And he didn't get a fucking job. And I was like, look, there's not a Kingdom Hearts coming out. Okay, I would know, right? I think it's this guy.
Dude, so I kind of did that to Nolan North at Salt Lake FanX, who's also a voice actor. Because he voices a lot of stuff. One of the things I was getting him to sign something for was for playing Ra's al Ghul in Batman Arkham City. Because I collected all his action figures. And
Nolan North was Troy Baker before Troy Baker was Troy Baker.
I think it was Nolan North. I need to double check it because I actually can't remember who it was now. It was one of those guys. But anyway, so there's a DLC that's coming out for that game, and Ra's al Ghul was in it. And so I talked to him about it. I'm like, dude, was it fun coming back for that? Did you want to do that? Then he's like, I don't know anything about that. And I was like, it's probably not that good anyway, honestly. I wouldn't even worry about it. So I felt pretty bad.
Yeah, that's funny.
I got to talk to the woman who voices
awkward.
Gladys one time. That was cool.
Cool.
That's it.
If there's no story to go along with it, we're moving on. Music was pretty fun.
Wait, did you rate it, Joe?
No, I'm rating it right now.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I thought you just moved on. I apologize. I'm sorry.
No. We're moving on from the diatribe.
Talking about voice actors.
Yeah, I thought the voice acting was pretty good except for the kids. And that was really, really bad. Mostly because they hired a person who was way too old to play that child. And it was audibly cringe worthy in a way that wasn't the game being funny. It was what the fuck? Why did you hire this guy? So that docks it a little bit, but the music it fits the game's energy quite well, and it's a fun rockin' soundtrack. So I don't think it's perfect though, but I don't know if I have the deep love for the whiny boy band sound on top of the hard rock metal music that A4 does.
Well, it's not Metallica, so of course you don't like it.
Nah, I just, I like the one Sum 41 song, but, I don't need a million.
Comparing this to Sum 41 is like comparing apples to chocolate pudding.
I like one of those better than the other. I'll give it a 7. Solid.
All right.
Maybe rising. It's rising. Solid's an 8. 7's a rising.
I'll give it an 8 for this. I think the voice acting was funny. It's like apples to apples, right? Where you got the real answer, but is it real enough to outdo the funny answer? And most of the time, no. The funny answer always wins. So I think the fact that the voice acting is hilarious in this game.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were still going on about apples versus fucking
versus chocolate pudding.
Versus chocolate pudding. I was like, yeah, you could. It's like a Honeycrisp versus a Fuji. You know. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about now? Okay,
obviously,
the game apples to apples.
Yeah. I really liked I thought the music was pretty good. It is a little like emo, screamo kind of to me, but the metal was awesome, and it had some pretty good beats and some good moments where it would kick in right as I'm like slashing somebody to pieces. It was pretty sweet. Not as metal as like a couple of the other games that we jizz all over on the show, like the Dooms and really just that, I guess. But like not as good as that, but pretty solid, I would say. Had a lot of fun with it. I thought the voice acting was all really good. And the slash sounds, I mean, that's pretty much what it sounds like when you cut somebody in half. So, and burst their anal beads between your fingers.
You mean like this?
Yeah, pretty much. That's about what it sounds like. So I really enjoyed this aspect of the game as well. So yeah, take that. 1 point higher.
A4. Go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10.
10.
All right.
There it is.
10. This is one of the greatest This is one of the greatest soundtracks ever conceived. And you guys are fucking crazy when you're comparing it to Sum 41. This is like along with like Doom 2016.
You know, I like Sum 41 more.
Can I change my score to a 9? I just thought of Sundowner's voice. And I wanted to have a 9.
You didn't give a score.
Good old days after.
Or could I give it a 9?
No, but I'll give it a 9 for you. That's fine.
I'll give it a 9, actually, thinking about it.
I think this soundtrack, along with Doom 2016 and Killer Instinct, is among obligatory workout playlist tier. Like,
right.
And the fact that every fucking boss theme has vocals that kick in like during the key moments is like the best shit ever.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Are you kidding me?
It's like, man,
that's such a cool That's such a cool touch that Devil May Cry 5 stole it.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? That's one thing about this game that I was going to write down, but I thought I'd remember because I didn't think it would be 3 months till we reviewed it. Like the game, it's like the music is like that feature in new cars that like the faster you drive, the louder the music gets. Except for it's way less dangerous than it is in a new car because then I want to go faster. Because it's like loud, and I'm like, yeah.
You need to put on the Stains of Time Monsoon's theme the next time you're driving, and we'll see how fast you go.
Yeah, but
speed metal.
It kind of reminded me of that, though. It's like it's fine tuned with the soundtrack with fighting, and I thought that was super fucking cool. And Doom does that as well. Doom does that too, where it has like a rolling beat, and then it can like pick up or slow down depending on like what's going on. It's not as cool as Doom's by like.
Well, yeah, it's not as sophisticated in coding, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I think it's in the same tier. I think it's like they're two different things stylistically. Like this is more like metal mixed with dubstep, whereas Doom is like gent mixed with dubstep. But like the fact that this one has vocals kind of sets it apart.
Doom Eternal has vocals in a few of theirs.
In a few, but this has vocals in every track.
Yeah.
I kind of don't love the vocals.
You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. They're literally the boss's like theme songs. The vocals are about.
I know they
each
are.
Boss.
Oh, I
That's
didn't.
awesome.
I didn't look up the lyrics. Sorry, but
it doesn't. You should have felt the lyrics.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of. I'll be honest. Like A4, this is one of those like little nitpicky things that.
Yeah.
Like subjectively, I just don't love vocal things in other things. Like I don't love.
What does that even mean?
Like in general, and there are exceptions to this, but in general, like when I'm watching a movie and then a theme song kicks in with a vocal track in it, I get annoyed.
Because that's cringe.
Yeah, it's
like
cringe.
Suicide Squad.
It's still cringe.
This is awesome because it's the song is specifically tailored to
And
the
it's
boss
not-
you're fighting.
It's definitely not all the time. There are huge exceptions to this, and lots of them. But in general, like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. So
You guys are nuts because if there's one thing this game is like,
you say you guys.
universally
I'm the
loved
only one
for-
who said this.
Well,
Schweiss was
also
praising
like,
it.
it's fine.
Fine. I gave it an 8. Come on.
That is 3 points too low for this game.
That's Metal Gear Solid.
It should be
Yeah.
Metal Gear
I
Rising.
gave it a Metal
Revengeance.
Gear Rising score of 7.
Wow.
You're
guys
just
are
giving it
nuts.
a 10 for pure Revengeance.
No, I'm giving it a 10 because this is legitimately one of my favorite game soundtracks of all time, specifically tuned to heighten the experience of every single boss
I mean,
fight.
that is pretty cool.
If you are working out and you hear the final boss theme, you will start jizzing on the treadmill immediately.
That's not.
Here's the thing. I feel like Joe not liking the vocals in his song is the same way I don't like seeing a messenger thing and then all of a sudden see his voice thing pop up.
For 40 seconds.
And I go, oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
What about
So
the
you don't want to
graphic?
hear my voice?
Not for that long.
Only when I'm ready to come, not during any other part of the day.
Yeah.
Let me also just say, it's not every day that I buy a video game soundtrack on disc. I have this one. I
Wow.
had to. It's
Wow.
that good.
Wow. All right.
I was listening to it a bit while you guys were talking, and it's good.
I'll bump
So-
I'll bump my score up to a 9. Now that I'm remembering the fact that it interacts with you like that, I'll bump it up. What do you guys think
Oh,
about?
that's the point of the podcast where your kids are on the show.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
right. What about the graphics and design? I'll let you guys start this one off so I can take care of that.
The game looks Metal Gear Solid. I think it looks pretty good. I don't know if this is really part of the graphics or anything like that, but you not being able to slice everything was just like, what the hell?
I think that was just a technical limitation.
Hey, can someone mute Schweiss? Can he mute himself before he fucking... I realize that the people at home cannot...
I did it. It's fine.
Okay, you're good. I just muted myself.
You could have done that whole fucking time in every other episode and you haven't done it.
Okay, now he's unmuted. Now, for the people at home, they probably didn't hear very much at all.
None, because
but
I
heard
unplugged
a
my mic.
Fuckload.
No, we heard
Oh,
everything.
that
Was it
nice.
distracting?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I
talk
probably
about things
should
that the
have.
listeners could
I
never
probably-
possibly hear.
I probably should have muted it on Discord. I was thinking.
Yeah,
about
no
doing
shit.
I
that.
did
That's
for
what-
you.
yeah.
Don't worry.
What were we
Remember,
saying?
folks,
What were we talking about?
professional
Graphics,
podcast.
sound, and
I
graphics
just wanted
and
to
design.
point out the guy
The
who
game-
gave the music the lowest score can't possibly pay attention when there are other voices going on in the room.
Yeah. Now it's like scary silent. That's on my end. I'm sorry for all the people listening to this at home on the actual. Like,
So you don't
official
like the
podcast
fact that
version.
you can't cut everything, which I think
Here's
is
the-
less of a graphics thing. and
It
more
is
of
not much of a
technical
graphics
limitation.
thing. I guess that's still part of technical limitation with the graphics. The lighting was good. The character designs good, if not except for the thing that makes me question whether or not I'm straight. Having to do with the fucking Raiden's amazing physique.
I was trying to figure
Raiden
out
is from,
how to incorporate
Mortal
his
Kombat,
ass
sir.
into my score.
I thought you were going to
So
say
it's funny
you're
that you said that.
trying to figure out how to incorporate his ass into your porn
It's
rotation.
like she's looking like he's.
Oh,
he's
that's already in there, baby. Don't worry about it.
He's looking like peak Jennifer Lopez or something like that. Like all I'm looking at is like his ass and them them tight jeans. You know what I'm
Doctor,
saying?
give me the greatest physique ever.
The Brazilian butt lift for fucking Raiden.
Yeah. Ich liebe woman asser.
Yeah,
It was just like fucking
the
gave him
voice
high
acting-
heels and an ass, and he's like, they'll never know my fetish.
During the voice acting, how did Schweiss not mention the fact that Doctor says "Ich liebe Kapitalismus"?
I don't know. That's pretty funny though. The
That's-
Doctor is
So
probably
you can,
my favorite.
You can put screenshots on your Steam profile. Like you can put like one big one and then a few small ones. And the one on my profile is just "Ich liebe Kapitalismus."
I thought it looked pretty
liked
good.
I liked the graphics and
Yeah.
design.
Oh, yeah.
I thought all the bosses were sick. Everything was sick. I'm gonna give it an 8 for Raiden's like perfect ass.
This is like his ass is like his. It's like the virtual version of Teemo's ass in real life. Like it's that good. It's like epic tier.
Schweiss is apparently getting on Instagram only to look at Teemo's ass.
Yeah,
and I don't know if this counts for design, but I liked that when he was fighting, the high heels were functional for his sword.
Yeah, I like that. I like functional dress.
It was funny. It was great.
I'm fairly certain he does that in Metal Gear Solid 4 as well.
I didn't honestly. I've only played like 2 hours of Metal Gear Solid 4. I got obsessed with the arms dealing, and then I was like, I don't want to play this anymore.
I never did finish it, but like I vaguely remember, like way back when that game first came out, I vaguely remember being like, "Why has he got high heels? Oh, he can grab the fucking sword with his high heels. All right."
Yeah, you're like, no, I guess it's not. It's not too gay, right? Is that too gay? There's a guy in high heels.
As he's cutting up another man, and they're both bleeding literally white because it's like android blood.
Yeah. They're like, maybe it is really gay.
Yeah,
is that blood or is that cum?
The design was really good. Just for most things. I mean, there's some limitations on the PS3. I'm not going to really dock it anything for that. But for a PS3 game, it's I don't think it's up there with the upper echelons. But like the art direction, I thought was like good enough to make up for any like physical like limitations they had. I will give it a 9 out of 10. I thought a really good looking game.
All right, what did you say, Zach? 10?
No, I gave it an 8 for Raiden's ass. It's each cheek.
Yeah.
4 for each cheek, or 8 for each cheek? You're giving it a 16?
How about a 16? You're right.
I mean, Craig gave it a 0.
8 is infinity, so you're basically giving it an infinity.
Craig gave a game a 0 once. I told him he couldn't do that, and then he did it again the next time. So we might as well be able to go over 10.
What game did he give a 0?
I think he gave a 0 to both Alone in the Dark, and then also one to Parasite Eve, which is like right after that. And I was like, God damn, 0? But
Alone in the Dark deserves that shit.
Yeah, I tried it for like an hour, and I was like, God, this is driving me crazy. I can't play this. I can't walk down this hallway. I only have 2 bullets for the whole fucking floor. I can't use them on this guy.
You know what? Your perfect 8 on his like round ass cheeks. I think it's the first episode of Scrubs where he goes, your ass looks like 2 Pringles hugging. And
you what hugging?
2 Pringles.
Your ass looks like 2 Pringles hugging. It's like, I think he first meets the blonde girl and they're going up the stairs and there's like a shot of her ass and it's like his head voice saying that. And that
A4.
When I see a good ass, I think of that line constantly.
I don't even know how 2 Pringles hugging resembles an ass, but
I don't know how if you'd have time for this for the thumbnail, but I feel like to harken back to Joe's joke about when he was working at the grocery store and they asked who had the fattest ass.
Right.
I think the thumbnail should be a Joe from the head to waist down is Raiden's ass with his high heels.
I was just gonna take like a picture of Raiden and then like use the liquefy tool to like make his ass bigger.
I'm saying I don't want to mess with your creativity, but I just saying that would be funny.
He's just saying you got to put Joe's face on there.
I think an easy thumbnail is just get a screenshot of Raiden's ass, and that's all.
I've already drawn Joe's ass in juicy pants.
That's true.
I've drawn Joe in bondage gear with extreme fever from Peggle over it, or with like a leash on or something. I've drawn Joe's legs in POV, looking up at Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know how much more of this I can do.
Before he starts wondering if he's gay. You should just draw women, but now all I draw is Joe.
This is gonna happen, dude. He's gonna get Corey. I mean, he's gonna get his person, and he's gonna be sexing her, and there's gonna be a cartoon picture of Joe's face on her, like over on like on a mask.
I'm not gonna get my wife pregnant until I come in her while picturing Joe as I finish.
That's the secret.
And then what you do is because he's got so much audio that he sent to us in messages on Messenger. Just press play, so you have his voice.
Yeah.
As you're going at it, it's perfect.
Do you mind if I turn on some music while we fuck? Oh, sorry. I don't know why all these voice messages are.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah, Joe will know if you do that. Just so you know.
Yeah, I'll just hear a gong.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Joe's just hanging out at home, and all of a sudden he just
Like, what?
It happened.
there's like white smoke coming out of your chimney. A new pope has been chosen. You like drawing Joe in sexual positions on the banners all the time. It's like whoever kept drawing like dicks in the Nude Clan book you guys sent me.
Oh, it was Joe.
For Joe.
That was Joe.
Yeah,
Was that the one with the fucking like Brachiosaurus? That one was I was like crying.
I have it up there. I'm pretty sure it's the one that's just got like the Stolas art on the front. And it's a white
If
book.
we show that on Twitch, is that gonna get us?
Because the best one was like Dylan came over afterwards, one of our other buddies, and he's like, "Hey Dylan, what do you think about this? What do you think about that dinosaur?" And he's like, "It looks like a dick." And I was like, just fucking dying. I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, and Joe's like, "What do you mean? It's a Brachiosaurus. There's its neck. There's his legs." Like, oh man, it was fucking hilarious.
The legs are also little penises.
I think the one of them was like the balls, one of the pair of legs, the balls. it was really good.
Oh my god! I gotta thumb through that book again. I've had it up there.
Dude,
forever.
all I can imagine is Joe is like Jonah Hill's
just
character from the fucking what's that movie with him and Michael Cera?
Superbad.
Superbad. All I think of is Joe as Jonah Hill, where he's like, "They thought I had a dick drawing demon in me. I couldn't eat food shaped like dicks. You know what food shaped like dicks? The best
The
foods."
best kinds. A4, you should take scans of that thing, and we could put it on Patreon on the back.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah,
That's
a
funny.
great idea.
that wouldn't be bad.
I
Did
think
you
you
get
should
a score?
update the Patreon every week with at least one dick drawing.
Yeah. Schweiss, are you okay? Schweiss, are you okay with us putting the dick drawings on Patreon?
Sure, yeah. Put it up behind a paywall.
I'll upload scans of them. I did not rate it yet. No, I like the design of a lot of stuff. I think this is the best Raiden has looked ever.
Which is funny because all that's left of him is his fucking left eye.
No, but like I vastly prefer this design to his like Metal Gear Solid 4 design that they have at the beginning, where he's got like the full face. I much prefer this.
Masturbate
It
to
looks
it as much.
honestly
It's a jaw for
really
me,
at all.
knowing he might use teeth.
not enough spikes on the other one. I think design wise it looks really cool. All the enemies look really cool. The fucking UI is really neat. It's got the glowing orange and blues. Really reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
Although I will say this game definitely has that like PS3 era problem of like everything is just way too fucking brown and gray. Like it's just so desaturated in terms of like its environment design. So it's definitely getting docked a couple points for that. I think I would give it an 8. I think it's really cool, but it definitely it reeks of like 2013 PS3 game aesthetics
Yeah.
in terms of just its color palette and stuff.
What about you, Zach? What are you thinking?
Already.
Are you sticking with your 8? And that's
Yeah.
your justification? All right, that's fine.
Yeah, it's Raiden's ass, yeah.
I'll give it a...
I also said I like the designs of the bosses. I like Sundowner. I liked, what's his name? Jetstream Sam. The Senator was simplistic but funny when he bulked out.
Yeah.
I liked it all, like, honestly. I
He's
do
got a
agree.
six
I
head.
wish it was, like, with, like, the comedy and, like, how zany it was, a color palette not all browns and whatever, grays and blacks would have been nice, but I still really liked it.
Yeah. When I was playing it, I was pretty surprised that it was a PS3 game, honestly. I was like, man, this thing looks pretty damn good, like, when I'm hacking and slashing. And, yeah, they've got some of the limitations, like you guys are saying, like, some of the edges aren't as rounded as they would be on a later console, but I think for a PS3 game, this thing looks pretty damn good.
Everyone make the face like Joe.
And there's not as much, not as many people, so characters to like really see where it looks like shit. So I feel like they did the Final Fantasy 12 mode thing where they kind of mask the fact that they can't make the game look better, and they do that by just implementing blocks and
Filters.
and just kind of making the game pretty linear. You can't really explore a whole lot, and
Now the thumbnail might have to be Raiden's ass, and then it's just our three faces doing this face, like all surrounding it.
What are you talking about on this audio medium?
They'll see.
Yeah, you'll see.
If I decide not to do
well,
it.
probably not. So yeah, I'm giving it a 9. I think it looked great. As far as graphics go, I think all the design changes or the design choices were fun and zany, and they fit pretty well with the characters. And some of those outfits are pretty sweet. Like, I normally don't really give a shit about that, but like the mariachi one, I just had to have it. Like, I just had to.
I bought it.
Well, and even just like all the weapon designs are wild. Like the fact that like Sundowner has like the little thing on his arm to make it a scissor blade, or like Jetstream Sam has a fucking assault rifle as his sword hilt.
Yeah, it's
like
cool.
That.
Yeah. The last category, some would say the most important category, replayability. I think I'm the only one that might say that it's actually the most important. Maybe not, though. I haven't actually asked. I just assume it's my category. What do you guys think? Are you going to play this again? Do you want to play the free DLC? Have you thought about playing the DLC? Like, what's
I didn't know there was a DLC, honestly.
Yeah, there's one for Jetstream Sam and there's one for Blade Wolf.
I bought Metal Gear Rising from a used game shop, so I didn't know there wasn't DLC.
No, I think they're free.
No, I know, but I'm saying I didn't realize that because I just went and bought it, and it doesn't advertise it on the original box, you know. So.
Yeah, one of them is free at the very least. The Jetstream Sam one is free, I know for sure. So,
I enjoyed the game, but it was like in and out. Like, dude, it was 5 hours, and it was just like I blinked and it was over. I wasn't really that engaged in it, like story wise. And the gameplay was fun, but a little frustrating, especially the fact that it's just so like I have to look up how to do controls on the internet. Like, what the fuck? Now I wouldn't have to do that. I wouldn't have to do that on a replay. Back in the day, back when the internet was still fucking there when this game came out.
Back in the day, you don't remember because you weren't allowed to play video games in 1996. But these things, the games used to come with these things called manuals, and they would actually tell you what the controls were.
I don't know.
Speaking of that,
my copy didn't have a manual.
I don't think this game came with a manual because like.
Wait! I can tell you actually right now.
Yeah, he can find out.
You crack it open.
Zach's looking in there.
Because it was like that weird second half of the PS3's life where like games just didn't have manuals anymore.
Dude, there's
like,
a lot of like Gen Zers right now. When they complain about social media, they're like, pretend that it wasn't around in 2013. And like, that shit's starting to piss me off. Like, social media, it just wasn't what it was, back then. Like, yeah, it's changed, but as far as like, yeah, everyone was still fucking on it.
Yeah.
Like, it was already big by that time. Like, what the fuck? What
Everybody
are you talking about?
Facebook.
Why does everybody have like amnesia about things from 10 years ago? What the fuck is that?
Hey,
shit?
This is the stupidest fucking game control that I've ever seen.
Anyway.
So at this point, you can't see it, so I got to glare. It shows you what buttons are. On the triangle button, it says triangle button. On the X button, it says X button.
Oh, that's good.
Down though, it's like jump X. But I hate that it like has the things off, and it's like, did you know the X button is the X button? It's like, yeah, I fucking play.
It's actually a cross because they're all supposed to be symbols, but that's fine.
Oh, okay, fast.
You guys ever play one of those PlayStation games that has like the voice acting, and it says like press the cross button, and I'm like, what?
But halfway through, so like this is English, this changes to Spanish. And then it changes to another language that I don't know. Probably some pussy.
French,
yeah, it's probably
French, but with a Caribbean accent.
Probably pussy French. You're probably right.
If you got a manual, you know what language day is.
Speaking of manuals, though, I found out there's a person on Etsy that for Switch games they make manuals. You buy it from them, and it's like random, but it has like information about the game, and I kind of want to start doing it. Because one of the things I miss the most are manuals.
Yeah, I miss them, but not to that level. I miss them caring enough to make them. Like the old PS1 games where it's like it's so big it's got two staples to hold that shit together. Like,
yeah,
that's cool. Those are awesome.
We put this shit in one of those big 2-disc fucking PlayStation things. Not because it has 2 discs, but because the manual is a fucking 48-page thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay, back to replayability.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I wasn't that invested in the game. I enjoyed the gameplay. I did have to look things up that was annoying, and I wouldn't have to do that on a replay, I guess. But the game's campaign was so short, and it didn't seem to, like, really, I guess, reward any other exploration, because the game's pacing was like, move forward, go, and slice things. So, I have no need to replay this. There's nothing really pulling me to replay it. I didn't even know there was DLC. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be very high on replayability. The only reason I would ever replay this again was if I decided to do a Metal Gear podcast. If I could play all the Metal Gear games, that would be like the only reason I would ever play this again.
Yeah. So start a podcast called Ultimate Metal Gear.
And I have considered starting a Metal Gear podcast before because I loved the games I have played outside of this one. And so, like, you know, it's definitely tempting, right? Yeah. Like, but with that in mind, like, I didn't enjoy the game enough. I'm sorry. A 3 out of 10 for replayability for me.
All right. Wow. What about you, Afer?
The game is short enough, like it's a 5-hour campaign, and that's just. I was like decently exploring the areas, trying to find some of the hidden collectibles. So you could probably beat it even faster than that. But there are collectibles to go back and find, like all the dudes that have the special like left arm thing where you can slice off their left arm. In like 5 of the levels, there's a guy in a box. That you can get, and that's like a collectible.
I found one of those. Just one, but I found him.
There's a bunch of like data things you can get that unlock concept art.
Those are the AR. I thought those were the AR missions because the computers you can
you can also get those VR missions, which also adds to the replayability because I didn't really touch those this time, but like they all are their own little mini challenges. There's the DLC, and of course there's playing it on harder difficulties and trying to get like S ranks on everything. So I give it a 9. It's a easily replayable game. Really, yeah.
No, I that's not a good score. I was thinking about this a lot actually. And I did enjoy it, and it is short enough. I would like to go back with the knowledge I do have because I feel like it would make like bosses faster, like Monsoon, knowing where to hit, stuff like that. And knowing I can dodge that stupid fucking thing the senator throws at you. It's fantastic.
That'll save you an hour.
By the way, because we're talking about how hard Monsoon is. How mad were you when you got to that room where you had to fight Mistral and then Monsoon back to back?
I was scared, but then it was fine.
Yeah, he wasn't hard.
I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah,
and then it was like, "Oh, this
but he wasn't.
No,
bad. I was
you're
like,
dead, dude.
I was like, I know how to do this. Like, it wasn't too bad. So my biggest thing. So I'm gonna give it a 7. My biggest wanting to replay this is I had to borrow my cousin's PlayStation 3 to beat it. So my cousin Mackenzie has it on her profile that she has beaten Metal Gear Rising, and I want it on mine. So I want to get a PlayStation 3 because I didn't log into it.
You could have logged in.
Score?
I didn't think about it. And like she's gonna beat God of War, the original God of War as well. It's gonna be nice for her. I want to replay it when I get a PlayStation 3 because I want to buy another one. The last time I went to the used game store, they were like $400 for a PS3, and I was like, "That's
what?
A little, that's overpriced."
Yeah.
So I want to get a PlayStation 3 again, so I can, and then I will replay Metal Gear Rising on my profile, so I have the trophies, because I did enjoy it a lot. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
All right. As I do this, I try to guess your score, and I had an 8 down for you. So
that's close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 7, like Raiden's high heel, just like.
Yeah, it's a nice 7.
Nice 7.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I did play the DLC. I didn't finish it, but I had to give the game to Joe. Like I said, I was playing it up to when he basically came over. And
so, when you get it back, will you play the DLCs?
I mean, I have it back and I haven't, but in my defense, I have been playing something else instead.
Right, you've been playing tons of Kingdom Hearts, which is fair. That's 100% fair.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give it an 8 because there is a bunch to do. The Sam VR missions are actually really hard, so I have gotten to 2 of them, and I'm trying to do all of them as I get to them. So it's like I'm stuck in the little DLC because I'm trying to just knock it all out, and they're pretty challenging.
One of the things, sorry, I kind of want to like end my stuff was saying is I would really like a sequel to this game.
Okay. I think we all would, but
a sequel would be fantastic,
except for Joe. But
yeah,
I don't think it's ever happening.
That's all right. It's just I put it in my notes for the review. Is I would like a sequel because it was just batshit insane and fun.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's what I'm giving it. I think it's good. I think it's worth picking up for. I think I paid like $15 a few years ago or something.
That's what I paid. That's what I paid a couple months ago. So.
Yeah, so I think it's worth it. Overall thoughts: good game. Probably one of the worst Metal Gears.
Maybe one of the greatest games ever made.
But also maybe I had a lot of fun with it.
I think it's like a poop stain under the shadow of Metal Gear.
I don't feel that way, but I mean it's not as good as the Metal Gear games, so I don't know.
No.
It's a lot of fun though. It was a really fun
Metal Gear Solid 3 is like literally one of the top 5 games I've ever played ever.
Yeah. Very true.
Being in comparison to that is like, what the fuck is this shit?
That is fair.
Well, it's like comparing like a fucking really good cheeseburger to like fucking filet mignon. Like obviously the filet mignon's better, but sometimes you're just in the mood for a good cheeseburger.
Yeah, sometimes I just want a Baconator.
Yeah, exactly.
A quadruple, and you get your manager.
I know this is bad for me, but it's great.
You get your manager on. I'll make him make me one with 4 patties. You watch, boy. You fucking watch.
I want people to fight for Baconators they believe.
Yeah, not just 2 patties. 2 patties are for pussies. For commie pussies who are starving to death.
Fuck these chicken shit fry cooks and these limp dick managers.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? A4. I just read this. In-N-Out just crossed the Mississippi River.
Wow.
They're going to Tennessee. Dude, they're coming for
I can't wait to
You too can have a mediocre cheeseburger.
Dude, I can't wait to finally have In-N-Out in like 2029.
Yeah.
Listen, if you come out here for one of the episodes, Joe can force you to eat a shitty cheeseburger.
Yeah, I can fuck you too if you want.
You both will be getting buns.
That way you can bring your images to life.
Yeah.
Yes. I can finally have closure for my artistic muse.
Yeah. You can finally come again.
Hey, dude, but A4's gonna walk into your house. And all of a sudden, he's gonna hear a door. He's gonna look and see the Arnold Schwarzenegger poster on a wall, and he's just gonna hear a click as the door locks.
Let me find that thing, by the way.
Maybe that's
while Schweiss is adding things up.
Oh, I've got it added already.
Maybe that's why I haven't got my wife pregnant. Is like I haven't actually come because I realized that's not Joe. I don't have it in me.
This is just some dark-skinned chick.
Your sperm just refuses to work.
You were gonna say something else.
I was gonna say black chick, but then I was like, wait. Is she black though? She's kind of more brown. I mean,
what are you guys talking about right now?
They're all pink on the inside.
Some of them are kind of. Yeah, that's true. All right. So recapping the scores. Story. Joe gave it a 5.
Jerking off to that.
Schweiss, I gave it a 7. Afer and Zach gave it an 8. Gameplay. 7 from Joe, 9s from me and A4, 8 from Zach. Sound and music, 7 Joe, 9 me, 10 A4, 9 Zach. Graphics and design, 9 from Joe and I, 8 from A4 and Zach. Replayability, 3 from Joe, 8 from me, 9 from A4, 7 from Zach, for a total of 31 out of 50 from Joe, 42 out of 50 from me, 44 out of 50 from A4, and 40 out of 50 for Zach, with a combined Nude Clan score of 78.5, rounded down to 78, which puts it, this is insulting, on par with Halo 3 ODST and Super Mario 3D World, but not as good as Heavy Rain. What?
That's actually insulting. That's fucked up.
To me, actually, that lines up pretty good.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
Come on.
I can't. Joe just fucking tainted the vote, and it's bullshit.
We gotta storm Joe's house.
I don't
we gotta
fucking try to like strategize this shit like you motherfuckers do. Okay, I just be honest with my scores, bro.
I'm honest with my scores.
Honest.
I've only done that
Honest.
intentionally once, and I backfired it because it didn't work for me. I ended up rating it better than the one.
I'm just objectively more correct than you. There's nothing wrong with that.
Look, it's what other games that are ridiculous is it ahead of or below? A lot, I guess. According to us, it is the 84th best game of all time. Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. Count it. Yeah, worse than Destiny.
It's in the top 100.
Worse than Earthworm.
Destiny? Are you fucking kidding me?
Worse than Last Guardian. Worse than Dying Light. Burnout Revenge.
Fucking Joe.
Dark Souls Remaster. Oh, where's Bloodborne? Where's Bloodborne in this? How far did Bloodborne drive? Oh, Bloodborne's a 75. So it's better than Bloodborne.
I had more fun playing this than Bloodborne. Correct.
So really, Joe...
I would go as far to say that Bloodborne is a better game than this, but that's just...
I mean, well, yeah, I would too, but... So Joe, it's not tainted. Joe doesn't try to work it out. It just happens to work out the way Joe wants it to every time.
No, this is the Joe core list.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us this time, guys. Unless, I mean, I got a weird thing I kind of want to share before I forget it.
Oh.
He just takes his pants off.
Yeah, and then we're banned.
Look at this thing.
You see how small this fucking thing is?
It's shaped like Ryan's
You know it
high
can get
heel.
hard and shit.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
You guys have one? Yeah.
I played around with it with my wife, and suddenly we had kids.
Yeah, a lot.
That's about.
Yeah, they scream like they're being murdered every time we record.
And I didn't have to think about Joe to do it.
Yeah. The other, man, which one? I got two stories I want to share, but one of them's weird. One of them's funny. What do you want? You want the weird one or the funny one?
Funny. I want funny.
All right.
Let's go funny.
Okay, so I was walking out of work the other day, right? And I hear somebody like yelling in the lobby, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I guess the police were like removing some homeless guy, and I like laughed, and I was just like, "Fucking homeless people!" Like, oh my god, such a pain in the ass. Like, because it's a kind of a seedy area, like I've said before. And I'm like listening to this guy, and I'm just like annoyed. And then as I'm leaving, I look in, and I see the police kind of forcibly pulling him out of there. And then there's a moment of like humanity that I have. I'm like, you know what? That guy was someone's little kid one time, right? And maybe their parents didn't care about him. I don't know for sure. But I'm sure at some point somebody loved this little kid, right? Just like I have my little kids, and I love them like...
And you can't wait to get them homeless.
Yeah, with all my heart. And I just really thought about it. Now, did that stop me from helping the police forcibly remove him from the lobby? And then beat him while he was on the ground? Of course not. But for a little tiny moment, I was like, this guy could have been, this was somebody's kid. This was somebody's everything. And now I'm helping these guys. I'm holding them down. And they're stepping on his chest.
I'm kneeling on his neck.
Yeah. I'm like, there was that just like flash. And just so remember that when you're doing your civic duty and assisting the police.
The ultimate irony is that homeless guy is the same guy.
This 100% confirms to me you ran that homeless man over.
No, that's the ultimate irony is that this is the same homeless guy that he ran over.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
He was coming after you, Schweiss.
Yeah, he's like, where is he?
Where was Caleb Schweiss?
Yeah, he's got the fucking bumper. It was
I only just before.
No, it's because they were playing.
Again.
They were playing a podcast at the homeless shelter. And he heard the story at the homeless shelter. Because they play nude clans at homeless shelters in Utah. I don't know if any of our listeners know that.
That's right, yeah. That's half of our downloads.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's like nude. It's like homeless radio. Like, welcome back to Homeless Radio 101.1. This fucking
time on Nude Clan.
You don't have a radio.
Yeah,
just on Nude Clan. A4 and Joe. Fuck. Also, that thing where you're saying that I go over to Joe's house and fuck him, I'm just picturing me like taking out my dick and then the Zendatsu thing comes up and there's like a red square over his ass.
Yeah.
Then I rip out his anal beads.
Yeah.
It's not you just slapping your dick against my ass. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing back there?
Yeah, I'm just slapping.
In A4's mind, it's all slow mo.
Yeah, I'm slapping my dick on his ass, and it's just like.
Yeah. So that's what I got for you guys.
Meanwhile, Joe is just like,
Don't come. Wait, what the fuck's the weird one?
The weird one is a dream I had last night, dude. It was like I went to bed super fucking late because I was like, hey, I got to beat Maleficent. I wanted to beat Hollow Bastion last night altogether.
Sorry, I didn't want to hear someone's dream either, Zach.
But it was a double dream. So like I was dreaming inside the dream. I don't remember what the one level 1 Inception dream really was, but the dream in the dream, I was like fucking. It was me and most of my family, like the 2 youngest kids, or no, I don't know if all of us were there, but most of us were there. And we were at this like really, really nice like beach front, like we're talking like house on stilts above the water, like super nice. Yeah. Me, the in-laws, just her parents mostly, and then like the little kids. And then there's
I think about Louisiana swamp people whose houses are on stilts.
When I think of nice, I think of that house from a series of unfortunate events that falls in the fucking ocean.
No, I'm thinking like fucking like I'm talking like crystal blue waters, and that's what you got. Not like
okay.
like legit.
Not like we're ready for the next Katrina.
Yeah, no, not like that.
Oh, okay.
There is a disaster in the story though, so that happens, and then like. I can't remember which dream it was, but it was like one of the two where Elijah, we have a dog bed that we have up at the top of the stairs. And when you open up the gate, the safety gate, it's like kind of in the way. And I've been like, fuck, that's going to like wipe this kid out. Because when you open it, you like start to go downstairs and then the gate like fucking hits you back again. And so I've been kind of paranoid about that. I think that's why it got in there. And he like fell down the stairs in this place and it like fucked him up. Like he was like bruised and all jacked up, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But apparently he was fine. And so he starts to like take a nap, and I was just like, damn, I gotta go get the in-laws. Like, come look at this kid. He is like super jacked up. And as this is happening,
look at this guy.
As this is, yeah.
Fucking moron.
Yeah, idiot. How many times are you gonna fall? And then as this is happening, like suddenly like a military style like helicopter comes and like lands in the street really, really close. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then these guys in these like white, it's almost like hazmat suits get out and like they start like looking and going into one of the houses. And I'm like, what is going on? And like Alex's dad is like down there like investigating. And then some lady just like screams like, get in the house now, like get away from them. And then I'm just like, what the fuck? Is this like some kind of like infection or something like that? Because this is like some zombie apocalypse kind of shit going on here. So I'm like, yeah, everybody get inside. And so everybody gets inside. And then I'm looking out the back window, and for some reason there's like even though we're in like Fiji, there's like a fucking like big ass office building, and all of the windows and stuff just like burst out, and it's like water, and it's like decontaminated kind of looking thing. And then like a ton of those helicopters start landing everywhere. And I'm looking, and out of those windows, a bunch of the dudes in like the white suits just start pouring out of the window, and they're like saying something. It's just like, and I was just like, what the fuck? And so I'm freaking out, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, fuck it, man. And I like roll off the side into the water, and as I come up, one of them is like in the water, just like torpedoing towards me. And he like fucking pulls me under, and as he's pulling me under, I finally hear what they're saying. And what they're saying is, why are all the humans running away? And I hear that like 5 times, like as I'm dying, and then my alarm goes off, and I was just like, holy fuck, man, what the fuck? Like, why are the humans all running away? And they're saying it like super fast, like, why are the humans all running away? Why are the humans all running away? Why are the humans all running away? And so it just sounds like, but yeah, that was fucked up, man. I was like fucking scared. And then I woke up in the dream, and then I woke up again, like in real life. So,
what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
So there's an idea for a movie right there. It's like
no.
I almost quoted that A4. I was trying to remember the full quote, and I almost said the same thing.
I have the full quote. I just
so I'm happy that we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was. Yeah, man, I was like freaked out. It's fucking like
big deal.
It was like the zombie. What is that? World War Z or something where I haven't seen the movie. I just saw the trailer where they're like hive minding up the side of the building, like climbing each other. It kind of reminded me of that, but like I don't know, government CDC
What do you
agents
think it
instead.
means?
What do you think it means?
I don't know. I think it means that I hallucinate on codeine. Probably is what it means. And I honestly, I wasn't really going to bed. It was more of just like a nap because it was like an hour and a half till I woke up to take the kid to school. But
Wow, that is very interesting. Please tell me more.
But yeah, that was weird. I didn't like that. I woke up and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that one. That was not good.
I don't like that. That's not fun.
I don't like drowning and then hearing that weird thing say that to me as I'm dying. And I don't like the fact that I was just like, all right, I'm out. And just fucking left everybody else behind. Like, sorry, they're going way too fast to save you guys. I'm going to see what happens when I go in the water. Nothing good.
Nice.
You are a sad, strange little man.
But, yeah, those are the two stories I had for you guys.
Dude, you're like the husband in 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Where they're like on the homestead and then like they get attacked and she looks out the window and he's fucking just booking it.
Yeah, like, nope. Yeah. That movie's pretty sweet, by the way. If you haven't seen it, it's
a great
awesome.
movie. Yeah, fantastic.
But anyway, I think now that's it for us this week, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Join us next time. Until then, live always in the nude.
And for Nude Clan is going to skyrocket like the good old days after 9/11.
Walk with your nano machines held high.
Fuck nanobots.
Yeah!